should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better.
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hey y'all, how you doing this Saturday? It is so good to see y'all. I figured out how to gift memberships and I was able to get 5 out, which is good. Awesome. Um you have to give me a second. I'm trying to get these documents ready for y'all that we're going to talk about real quick. I've got several videos today. Hio and I scoured TikTok. I mean, we got clips from everywhere. Like everywhere, yes, everywhere. So it's going to be very interesting. This is a very interesting case. Um, it brought back a lot of memories for me, and we're probably going to talk about that, kind of why I do this, why this case and Madeline's case really have touched me because again, it brings back a lot of memories for me that I haven't really talked to y'all about. So I'll probably get a little bit personal today. Forgive me. I'm gonna shout y'all out just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, I needed to send these documents so I could pull them up. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh my goodness, Harmony broke me too. Hey Tish, Sarah, Abella's bad girl, Phony, good to see you. Anders, Abellis, Hio, Serena, Thomas. It's good to see you. Rachel, good to see you. Nona, good to see you. I see where I gifted 5 memberships. Indie Girl, We Got Shite, Smoky Mountain Mermaid, Ashley, Indie Girl, Nina M, thank you for being here. Scrolling up. Joyous N, Tony, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Petunia, it's good to see you. Thank you guys for being here with me this Saturday. We do have a lot to discuss. This is a horrible case. It absolutely is. Nona, it's absolutely horrible. Trial's supposed to be in March. I was listening to the preliminary last night and today while I had to run out and go run some errands. And definitely interesting. We're going to go over what we can of that. Hey, Edith. Okay, so we are going to start with some TikTok videos from this person, this lovely girl named Drake. You have to give me a second to get it pulled up and then I'll share it. Hold on. Okay. So this is going to be a breakdown of the case. I have linked her in the description box and hold on. Okay. I've linked all the videos we're going to use today in the description box so that you guys have access to that. I don't know how to make it any bigger than that, so that's what it's going to look like. And I really appreciate the work this girl is doing on TikTok. I would love to share. I mean, I've shared her stuff. I would love for y'all to go subscribe if you're on TikTok. She's really got a lot of very pertinent information about this case. So this is going to basically tell us what's going on in the case.
All right, you guys. So in 2024, Ziyah Harris was a 13-year-old from Detroit, Michigan. So very early on in life, Ziyah's grandmother, Annette Harris, gained custody of her. So Ziyah's biological mother, she faced a lot of turmoil in her life, and that ultimately led to Annette getting Ziyah around 2016.
Now, this case, like I said, I've been studying it, and we're going to talk about how it's kind of generational. We're going to look into the area that they were living in Detroit, and just talk about there's a lot to this case. It's a lot more. It's different than Madeline. I see differences and I see similarities. Um, there's a lot to this case, and I want to talk about it with as much respect as I can. So I'm going to be very careful about how I say things. So it's really heartbreaking. Hey, LaShawn Davis, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. So we'll continue on.
So in 2024, the family lived in Detroit. Ziyah lived with her grandmother, and her 16-year-old brother did as well. So also living in the home with them was Shannon, which is Annette's daughter. So Shannon is Ziyah's aunt. So Shannon also had kids with this man by the name of Jarvis Butt. So even though Shannon and Jarvis had 5 children, Jarvis had 13 children total.
Now, this is a picture of the aunt, Shannon, and Jarvis Butts, the predator. This horrible monster of a man right here. And he's got 13 kids, and we're gonna talk about, I mean, I'm gonna show you how it's kind of generational.
And some of these children were even created while he was with Shannon. Now, Shannon is saying that she knew that Jarvis had other women, and at some point she decides to not be in a relationship with him, but she continues to mess around with him. So at some point, Shannon moves out of the home with her mother, but she's still there regularly. And so are her kids. And the father of her.
So this man was having children with this woman and also having children with other people. And they're on again, off again. She's got, I think she said 5 or 6 kids by him. And so she moves out of grandma's house. She's not there anymore, or, comes in and out, brings the kids to see grandma and stuff. Grandma's house is where Ziyah and her brother live.
Of her children, Jarvis, he's a mechanic and he works at this auto shop. And sometimes Jarvis will ask Shannon, could their oldest daughter, Janiyah, and Ziyah come to their shop to help him? Now, y'all, let me stop the story and say this. Jarvis has been a registered offender since the early 2000s.
So he's asking to take the nieces and nephews and children to the auto shop to basically show them how to work on cars, is what you would think. It's good. You need to know how to work on cars, especially in this day and age when, a brake job could cost $99. It's good for kids to learn that kind of thing. And you think that you're sending them there, to the shop that he works at to be educated, and he's a sex offender. Now, again, I don't know if they knew. I have a suspicion that they knew he was a sex offender. But I don't know that they knew. If they knew he was a sex offender, that's horrible. If they didn't, I mean, they might have thought that, he's just trying to, he's likes the kids and he's just trying to help. I don't know if they knew or not, but this man is a horrible disgrace. From what I've heard, there was a child as young as 4 years old that he was messing with.
So before he had even gotten into a relationship with Shannon, he was accused of doing things to underage girls, and he was convicted of these things, making him a registered offender.
So you can see right here, the offense is criminal sexual conduct of the 3rd degree, a person from the age of 13 through 15. So he's messing with 13, 15-year-old children. It's something that appears to be a pattern for him. Hey, Marley RS. LaShawn says they knew. I think they did. I mean, and we're going to get into that some more. Nina M. Yeah, I agree. If any adult male is asking for help off of children, alarm bells should go off. I agree, but I try to look at it like maybe they thought he was really teaching them how to work on cars. I don't know. I think they knew. I think this is a generational thing, and we're going to talk about why I think that. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to be very careful with this case. Hey, Lou. Lou says this case is heartbreaking. He should never have been around any kids, family surrounded all around, and the children are dodgy AF. Yeah, the family, there's a lot with the people that were in and out of the house, and some stuff I found about that. Hurricane, thank you for being here. Shannon says she knew he was a sex offender, but was giving him a second chance at life. Okay, thank you. And RS says he ended up telling Shannon when he met her, I believe she was 19 years old, that he was a sex offender. I found information that she might have been a lot younger than that, and we're going to look at that. Hey, Jenny Jen, and hey, April S. You guys are telling me that she admitted that, so I'm going to take your word for it. I personally haven't found it and can't validate that, but if you're telling me she knew, then I'm going to go with that she knew. April S. says, I drove around the area where she lived, and where she went missing, and not one missing persons flyer. It was my family, the area. If it was my family, the area would be lit up. It appears that they might not have even searched for her, or a few people from the family did, but not the ones that should have been, or something. Hey, Cajun Juju, I think it was just his older daughter and the niece he would get to clean his shop. I mean, I would hope that that's what was going, I mean, what the parents thought were going on. I don't know. CSO did not get second chances to do better, only to reoffend. Disgusting. Hey, October skies. Edith said, I'm a little confused. Was he related to Ziyah? I'm not too familiar with this case. So he is with Ziyah's aunt. He's got several children with her. I don't think they're married, but he's got 5 or 6 children with Ziyah's aunt. And Ziyah's aunt comes over to her mother's house, which is Ziyah's grandma's house, and spends time with grandma. Ziyah lives with grandma, and that's how she met Jarvis. He is basically her uncle, and he takes her to an auto shop where he works to do stuff
So
on
before
cars,
she even
supposedly.
got with this man and had 5 kids, she had to have known that he had a very dark past. Now let's fast forward to January 9th of 2024. Ziyah Harris goes to school as usual, and after school, the bus driver is saying that they dropped her back off at her bus stop that's not far from her home. But what's crazy about this is Ziyah never makes it home. Now you would think.
Now, I saw this picture of her right here, and I thought it was just so cute. She is just so beautiful. And I saw the hearts on the back of her phone, so that's why I did the background of the thumbnail for this video has got the hearts on it to kind of try to remember her. I do want to talk to y'all about I'll talk to y'all real quick. I think I'm going to make a Cash App just for fundraising, and possibly try to raise some funds to go to, there's an after school program that Ziyah would go to with some friends. And so I thought about doing a fundraiser and donating those funds to the after school program. I think on Madeline's birthday, we'll do another fundraiser to donate to the school where Madeline went. And then on the day that she actually died, we will have a day of silence and light a candle and all of that. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm going to try to get that worked out. But if that's something y'all would be interested in, it's definitely something I would want to do.
Think, okay, this 13-year-old, she's not home. She's usually home by a certain time. As her guardian, her grandmother should have instantly knew something was wrong and contacted police. But we find out that police was not contacted until that next day when her grandmother went to the school in order to let them know what was going on.
Okay, why did grandma not contact the police as soon as she didn't come home, as soon as she wasn't there? Why are we waiting to contact police? Why is that going on? I don't understand. I'll never understand that. It is not true that you have to wait 24 hours to report somebody missing, especially if it's a child. That is not true. The moment you think they're missing, you need to call somebody. You need to check. I don't know. I don't understand why they waited 24 hours, but please, if you take one thing from this live today, please let it be the fact that you do not have to wait 24 hours to report somebody missing, especially if they are under the age of 18. Please. Always know that. Sarah said, welcome, beautiful people, both new and returning. Please smash that like button and get this incredible channel into the algorithm. Sending all the love and good vibes. Thank you. Thank you for that. I think he used those kids for free labor, cleaning bathrooms, etc. Well, yeah, but I mean, my kids have chores and things. I don't consider it free labor. I consider it, trying to instill a sense of work ethic, RS says that's the biggest question. Right. And lastly, real quick, Lou says, I hope the family don't and haven't got a penny from that GoFundMe when they haven't bothered searching for Ziyah. Those kids are money to them. Sorry, this case infuriates me. It infuriates me too. And if we did the fundraiser, if I get that figured out when we do it, it's going to go to the after school program. I wouldn't give it to family members, especially in these cases and things.
At that time, did you have a conversation with someone else about her not coming home, Ziyah not coming home?
Yeah, when I picked my children up from the after school program, I went in and my daughter said,
objection to what her daughter said from the hearsay.
I'll rephrase the question.
Okay, so thank
Just talking about what you saw and heard, and not asking for what anybody said, but did you talk to Shannon, your daughter?
Yes,
about
Shannon said she was not there.
So they
So they knew what they went that afternoon to go pick her other kids up from the after school program, that she wasn't there. Why not call the police immediately?
knew that evening that Ziyah had not returned home from school. In that testimony, she said that even Shannon said that she wasn't there, and Shannon.
Look at that baby. Like, it really infuriates me, because even if she was with child, okay, she could have that child. She could get therapy for her trauma and still live her life. Like, I'll never understand, why do they kill them? Especially this case, when we talk about, the pattern of repeat offending. We'll get more into that. I don't want to, there's something I got to show you in order to get into that, but it makes me mad, because there's help out there. He could have went to prison for X amount of years, and she could have lived her life and got the therapy she needed for that trauma and still lived a life. She is absolutely gorgeous, Nona. Nona said, and why did she report to the school and not call 911? It took 30 days to get to missing persons investigations. Yes, it did. She reported it to the school, and the school called 911. Yes.
Shannon said that even the kids said that they hadn't seen Ziyah, but still nobody said anything until that next morning. So the first people to actually investigate.
First of all, why is you 13? I mean, where did you think she was that whole entire night? She's just not home? Like, what? Are you serious? Where was she sleeping that night? Did you think she was sleeping in the woods? Did you not care? Like, if you legitimately didn't know she was missing, but you ain't seen her all night, where the hell do you think she's at?
This case was the Detroit public school system, and they are the ones that actually got police involved. So the search for Ziyah begins. Now, let me say this. I covered this case in February of 2024. By the time I had covered Ziyah's case, there was still not a lot of attention on this case.
Now, and going to that, I will let you know that my lovely mod Jenny Jen told me about this case a long time ago, right when it was first happening. I submitted a FOIA request and was not able to get any information on it. And I'd submitted another FOIA request here recently, and they're still not giving me any information on it. But my lovely moderators have pulled stuff that we're going to talk about. So I do have some court documents. Rachel said Jarvis was going to prison and would have been caught because she was pregnant. Right, but there's a rumor that he got Shannon pregnant when she was 13, the aunt. And Shannon gave birth to when she was 13. So if it had happened before, why this time are you committing homicide? And we'll talk about that. I don't understand. Hold on, sorry, y'all.
So I remember that they deemed her a runaway. Annette was on the news. She said she had no idea where Ziyah was. But other family members that were estranged from this family, they came forward. Now, they did remain anonymous, but they said that they had actually reported abuse in Annette's home. One even went so far as to saying that she knew one day Ziyah would be a missing person. Okay, so Ziyah.
What? I didn't even catch that part the first time. And it goes back to, like, is it because of the area of Detroit? Is it because of the culture that you think she's ran away? If somebody reported that there was abuse in the house, and they even went so far as to say they knew this child would be a missing person one day, why wasn't more done? Is it because of the area? Is it because of the culture? I don't understand. It's deplorable and horrible.
Ziyah, she's missing. But in my heart, it felt like nobody was truly looking for her. For weeks and weeks, this case went with no answers. And then in March, that's when things start to come out. So it turns out that Ziyah was using a school tablet on the day that she went missing. And that is where we get this infamous picture of her.
This is the last picture ever taken of Ziyah, and it was taken on the tablet at school the day she went missing. And she looks happy. She's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's so sad. We do at least have this last picture of her, but Just why?
Her smiling and waving. This was taken on the day that she disappeared. So they end up getting a warrant in order to go through this tablet. And y'all, when they go through that tablet, they found disturbing messages between Ziyah and Jarvis Butt.
And I've got some of those we'll talk about. I know you told me how to say your name, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I think it's Tanyisha or Tanyasha. She says a lot of resources aren't spent looking for Black kids and women, and that's kind of what I'm like. Why not? Why hasn't this case gained as much attention as Madeline's? Now, I mean, I will say, like, submitting FOIAs and things, I got back a crap load of information on Madeline because of the sunshine laws in Florida. But we didn't even, like, this case didn't even surface until she had been missing for quite a while. Why is that? Does it have something to do with race? And again, I'm going to tiptoe around that. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. But I mean, you can see the missing kids videos in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I just, it's infuriating, and I wish all the resources would go to these children that are missing. Like, I wish every child would be covered, and every resource would be used, no matter I can't say the word ethnicity. Like, I wish that it didn't appear that was a correlation between resources, if you know what I'm saying.
So these messages are extremely graphic, y'all. It
Hey,
details him saying things that he wants to do to Ziyah. And at one point, she even says, "Come get me."
Hey, Marshall.
Now, police see that and they know they need to talk to Jarvis Butt. Now, once they do catch up with Jarvis, he denies anything. He tells police, "Look, you can go through my phone. I have nothing to hide. I haven't seen Ziyah since December." But police end up talking to the man that works at his auto shop, King. And King says, "No, I remember back on January 9th, the day that Ziyah went missing, me and Jarvis was working on a vehicle and we needed to go to AutoZone."
Now, this man King that's with the shop, I got some questions about him.
Now, once we went to AutoZone, we saw this girl walking, and that girl was Ziyah Harris. Now, Jarvis played it off to King as if Ziyah was just his niece and he was giving her a ride. But Ziyah went back to the shop on that evening and sat in a truck while King and Jarvis fixed on another car. That is proof right there that Ziyah was with Jarvis on the last day that she was seen. So later on, even Jarvis's sister would come forward and say that she saw Ziyah on that day as well at that shop.
So thank God for that. Thank God that they did admit seeing her there that day, because now we know, now we can place Ziyah with Jarvis the last day that she was seen. And we can prove that he is lying about seeing her. So that makes him look guilty AF. Hey, Jenny. Jenny Peach says, well, Annette, the granny, reported her missing the morning after she disappeared, and the school police didn't hand the case to Detroit department for a month. I didn't know that either, and thank you for clarifying that. That's interesting. Why is the school not handing it over, especially after she's been missing a couple of days? Like, you could say that maybe the right person wasn't informed that night, but like, she's been missing from school for like 2 weeks or something, and nobody's asking questions. Why? Again, is it the area? Is it the culture? The ethnicity? Not the culture necessarily, but you know what I mean. Lou said speculation, but apparently it's known to family that Shannon done it. Truth will come out. They are all sus. Justice for Ziyah. I hope she gets justice. Tan says, in my opinion, the family never thought that anyone would care about Ziyah being missing. I think that's a possibility. And then why is it? Why would anybody think that people wouldn't care about her being missing? Why is it that, you know what I mean? Like, I got to be careful about what I say, but why is that? April said the school police officer said that most kids are runaways and he expected she would just come back. See, and again, it's the area and all of that, but yeah, it's like so many things failed her, like everything, even after she went missing. Like, I don't care if you think they're a runaway or not. It needs, all the resources need to go to finding these children.
which is not shocking because remember, Shannon even said that at some point Ziyah and Janiyah will go help him at the shop. So police end up tracking his cell phone data that day and they realized that he was with Ziyah. By August, they end up arresting him and charging him in the disappearance of Ziyah. And they say that after reviewing text messages between Jarvis and Ziyah, they do presume her to be dead, but they do not have a body. So in March, they
So, and her body to this day still hasn't been found. They did find her clothing though, and we're going to talk about that when we go through the preliminary hearing. Thank you, Fawny, for telling me how to say it. I'll still mess it up. He does look like a PDF file, doesn't he?
They made a few discoveries. They found a black hoodie, they found headphones in the pocket, and they found a shoe. They also had found a pink jumpsuit. Now they believe these items to be Ziyah's. Now, after Jarvis's arrest, we learned some more shocking details in this case. It turns out that Ziyah is not the only person that Jarvis did this to in that family, and he is accused of even trying to do something to his own daughter. Not only
so, it's found out that he's a predator, which was kind of already known. I'll be honest with you right now, I was not able to contact her to get fair use, so that's kind of why I keep pausing and talking a lot. If you want to see the videos without me commentating over them, they're all linked in the description box. Hurricane said Ziyah went to the school counselor earlier that day, but never spoke to anyone. It's being reported that Ziyah was laying on the floor. My apology, but I just can't spell her name correctly. It's okay. She was laying on the floor? That's interesting. It is dysfunctional. Is it generational? Like what? Why is it an accepted thing? Like, and I wonder why. Pre-trial, yeah, the pre-trial. I've got those, or I've got the list of charges. We'll talk about that. I'll play that. We'll look at that next after this video.
Only that, a cousin of Ziyah is saying that at one point in time, she witnessed some very shocking things happen between Jarvis and Ziyah, and Jarvis even tried to come on to her. Now, one thing I have to point out is, it's being said that Shannon allegedly knew about the relationship between Ziyah and Jarvis way back. So we know that Ziyah would frequently use her aunt's phone. And so
if this woman knew about what was going on, regardless of if it happened to her or not, she should have done something. And she's just as guilty as he is. Phony said it's called malignant normalcy, and it's definitely generational. Hey, Tip Davis. One video said Shannon hit her on the head with an object at the house after she went home. Ziyah passed out and then died. And then Shannon called Jarvis to figure out what to do. Oh my God. LaShawn said, no, these people just don't have a brain or morals. I saw a video where she appeared to know that Ziyah was pregnant. April said they all had children super young and most likely were groomed and taken advantage of and think it's a normal life. Yes, that's what it appears. That's what I've been finding, unfortunately.
Sometimes I'm guessing Jarvis wouldn't know if it was Shannon or Ziyah calling him from the phone and would confuse the two. Now, Shannon is still saying that she had no idea that nothing was going on. But allegedly, there is proof that she confronted Jarvis about his inappropriate relationship with Ziyah. She saw text messages and pictures between the two, but y'all, she never reported it. So y'all, let me...
Why did you not report it? Especially if it happened to her at the same age, at the same, when she was that age. If Jarvis did the same thing to her and then she saw it happening to her niece, why did she not report it? I don't care how many kids you have with this man. That's no, absolutely not. No, ma'am.
Let me say this. What you see going around is the preliminary hearing. So that hearing is being held in order to see if a judge wants to take this to trial. One thing I noticed at this hearing is this man had a fiance. He had 3-4 baby mamas. And y'all, all of these women thought that they were in a relationship with him at that time.
So he's just running around sleeping with everybody.
Another thing I want to point out is so many people saw Ziyah with this man. And for some reason, nobody reported it, even knowing that this man had a very crazy past. In my heart, I feel like a lot of people feel Ziyah.
I do too. I feel like the city of Detroit, her family, the school, everybody failed her. Everybody, if this well known in the community that this man is a sex offender, and yet he's seen with these children, because it wasn't just Ziyah going to that shop with him. Why is that acceptable? Why is nobody doing anything? I know that, snitches get stitches, but that's a different kind of thing. Like, why? I don't understand. I'm really infuriated about this case and Madeline's case. Like, the more I learn, the more infuriated I get. Fawny said that's what malignant normalcy is: grooming, no guidance, bad morals being passed down, looking the other way because the adults look the other way, making bad good and the abnormal normal. I think that's a good way to put it. I mean, I think that kind of in a nutshell talks about, or, reiterates what was going on.
Jarvis Butt is a monster. There is no doubt in my mind. He should have been in prison a long time ago.
Yep.
But this baby did not stand a chance in this situation.
Nope.
So I wanted to cover Ziyah's case in order for you guys to see the total background in this situation. It is being alleged that he unalived Ziyah because he found out that she was pregnant. Now, although Ziyah's body has never been found, this is a murder case. Now, y'all, my heart breaks for Ziyah.
Look at her. Isn't she just absolutely precious? And I don't think that her body's going to be found. I think he thinks if her body is not found, then he can't be charged, or he's not going to, the chances of a jury convicting him are less because her body is not found. I don't think he will ever tell where her body is, or if it's in that river that we're going to see them testify about when we get to the preliminary part. I hope they find it. I hope they have a way to find her and lay her to rest.
And I'm going to keep you guys updated as this case progresses, because it is going to trial. And in my heart, I feel like a lot of more people are going to be arrested. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this case. All right, you guys.
Hold
so
on.
in 2024, Ziyah Harris.
Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about the generational aspect of this case, the malignant normalcy in this case. I'm going to show you another TikTok video, and then we're going to do a YouTube video. And after that, I will pull up the list of charges that he has right now. Nono said, I'm going to add my 2 cents. Grandma was all about the money she was receiving for the 4 children she adopted: Ziyah, her brother, and the other 2 she had. I don't know. The brother says that she's strict. I think she tried, but she's overwhelmed. And didn't see an issue for whatever reason. Hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and get this video so I can present it to y'all. Hold on. No. Dang it. Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to go to my video description real quick and grab it from there. Tan said Shannon saw Ziyah as her competition. Shannon told a family member that she didn't turn Jarvis in because she needed him to help raise their 5 kids. I could see that, and that makes sense. It appears to me, that's very possible. All right, I'm going to pull up this lab and go in the description so I can keep pulling up these videos, because they're all in my description. Again, if y'all want to watch it without me talking, check that out. Okay. Hold on a minute. I'm scrolling down. I sincerely apologize. I thought I had emailed this to myself. Okay. I got it now. Hold on just a minute while it loads. Now I'm going to have to mute this. Hold on. I know y'all can't see it. I'm trying to get it muted. Okay. Now I want y'all to pay attention to this man that's dancing with Ziyah and hugging all up on her and just kissing her and loving her and being weird. because it's talked about in this video that I've got a couple clips from to show y'all. This TikTok video, which is linked in the description box, says, who was this with Ziyah? Not sure if that was real love or suspect ATP. Now watch this man. I had to mute the music. Now I saw this and I was like, well, you know, hopefully it's just something innocent, but he's drinking. That's an ice house in his hand. And then I saw this video that we're about to look at, and it tells you who this man is. Like, the way he just grabs her and is kissing on her and stuff, it just seems a little sus. You know what I mean? I didn't like it. Let me see what y'all are saying. Yeah, who is that? I'm about to tell you. I think it is the granny's brother, but, yep. They said that's Eric, the great uncle Annette's brother. Yep. Now I'm going to pull up this video to show y'all. I do want to say that I have not validated this. This is what he says. This is going to be, I know y'all can't see it. Hold on. I've got a couple clips I'm going to play for y'all out of this YouTube. This is going to be, I think it's Ratchet King, RATCHETKING. He is linked in the description box. I'm going to play a couple clips of this video for y'all. I have not validated this. I cannot prove what he's saying, but it appears that what he's saying is accurate. I'm going to play a couple clips I have written down out of this. Please give him a like and subscribe. Let me make sure y'all can see it real quick because it's on a different page. Yep. All right. I'm going to move this. All right. Listen to what this man found out.
Shannon likes to say that she has 5 kids, but she actually has 6. Because the truth of the matter is her first child with Jarvis just turned 18, which means that Shannon had her first child by Jarvis at just 13.
So if she actually has 6 kids, that means, and this child is 18, and they've done the math correctly, that would mean that she had her first child by Jarvis when she was 13 years old herself. Now, if that's true and it's already happened before, why did he kill Ziyah? And that tells me Auntie knows a lot more than she's saying. Why kill her if you found out she was pregnant and this had already happened before? Hurricane said, what the hell was Shannon thinking? How could Jarvis help? With what? Pull up to the house more often? Shaking my head, right? Now, I'm going to play this clip. It's going to kind of tell us why he thinks that.
Paternity filed for child support against Shannon for this child way back in 2006. This is Jarvis and Shannon's first.
Okay, so he gives names and things, and I'm not trying to put people's names and things out there, but basically what he said was that there's a woman, the child that she had when she was 13 was taken away, or she gave this child away. A woman took the child and fostered her or adopted her, and then in 2006 went after Shannon for child support. Now, I would think you have to be 18 to pay child support. Maybe she went after her at that time. So I can't validate this information, but he talks about it's in court documents. April said the grandmother knows without a doubt, and just handing her kids and grandkids to that sicko. Hey, Marshall Dave. Tip says the clothes they found Shannon got them out of the house to throw the police off. My goodness. Mallory said, oh my God, if I saw something like in my daughter's video or in my house, I would lose all F's on that man. Hell no, right? Now, he's going to reference some court documents that say that's how he knows. I don't know that you could go after someone that's not even 18 for child support. So I do question it, but he says he has documents.
First child that Shannon had at the age of 13. Okay, that's why they didn't care. The family didn't care about what was going on with Ziyah and Jarvis, because it's been going on. Shannon,
If that is true, why is this man still there? Or if the aunt wants to be with him that bad, why is she not allowed at grandma's house where the other children are? Why were these children not protected? What about the children that they have together? Like, why are they even going over to see their father?
Shannon and Jarvis's first child. Shannon had this baby at 13, same age as Ziyah by Jarvis. Okay?
If that is true, that's effed up.
And she just turned 18, October.
Okay, now, I don't know how you can go after child support for somebody that's not even 18 yet, but that's what he says. I don't know. Like I said, I have not validated this. This is the second part. It's going to talk about that man we just saw hugging all up on Ziyah.
County court records and stuff. So stop playing with me, man. I give y'all all
Hold
the
on.
facts. Those are facts based on Wayne County court records and stuff. So stop playing with me, man. I give y'all all the facts.
Now, if it was through Wayne County court records, I wish he would have shown it. Hey, Miss King of Anything. Rachel said they probably have to go after child support to get benefits for rent, food stamps, etc. Yeah, I just don't know how you're going to charge a 13-year-old for that. Miss King of Anything says, hello, all. I started following this case when I saw it on Strategic. This is terrible. This is a terrible family. Too many adults not taking care of children just like Jen. Yeah. October Sky said, if you have child and neglect support, it doesn't matter the age, you will be required to pay child support. I don't know, because it's like, how do you expect a 13-year-old to be able to pay it? Hazel's ready to throw some hands. I am too. All right, so this is going to talk again now about the man that we saw hugging up on Ziyah.
I really don't try to muddy the waters or anything. There's also a video going around of Ziyah sitting on an old creepy guy's lap. His name is Eric. He is Annette's brother.
Okay, so this is Eric. Annette, if Annette is the grandmother, then it's her brother. And you can see that's the exact same man. He's just chubby in that picture. And what he has circled is tier, I guess it's third or tier something sex offender. That's the man you saw hugging all over Ziyah in this video that they show right here. Now, grandma's brother's a sex offender. Her aunt is a sex offender. I mean, her uncle is a sex offender. This man been around the family since that woman was supposedly 13 years old. That's when he got her pregnant. Like, it appears that the whole family unfortunately failed her, and that it's an accepted thing in that family. Why? Why is it accepted? Why was nothing done? Why didn't the county, social services, somebody check in? If you're getting benefits for these children, when you go fill out that paperwork, you have to put your name, your social security number, your date of birth, etc. And you have to put it for the children. So even if she's not mentioning Jarvis, if the birth dates are like close to, like, you could calculate how old she was when she gave birth to the children. Why? And I just, if she's talking to a counselor, and I mean, the same thing with Maddie, I wish they would have told something. I wish these children would feel comfortable enough to talk. Nona said if someone adopts a child, it's no longer birth mom's responsibility. So did someone she knew just take the child to raise her? I'm not sure what the deal is with that. He didn't drop court records, so I don't know. If I could see the court records, I might know more. That's what he says. He did pull this and show us this about that man. And I've got it through 153.
And he is as early as December 14, 2018. He was a tier 3S defendant. So there's a lot of P words in Ziyah's immediate family.
So 2018 was 6 or 7 years ago. Ziyah was born. So after she was born is when he's charged with this crime. So the family absolutely knew and allowed him to be around her. It actually looked like maybe around the time that he's hugging and kissing all over her, shortly thereafter, he got charged, which is interesting. Like, did it happen to her? Did she not say anything? When, because it looks like she would have been maybe about that age when he got charged with that. What child, was it a child in the family that he got charged with that for? I don't know. I mean, if brother Eric is here one day and then he's not, you're gonna know he's in prison. Why is he around the children? Foxy Amazon, it's good to see you. To owe support, generally the child needs to be with one of the parents, the other one owing support. Not necessarily. If the child's being fostered, you can also, like, if the children are with somebody else but the parent hasn't signed over the rights to the child, the parent would owe child support. It's only after you sign over your rights so that the child can be adopted, that's when you would not pay child support anymore. Tip Davis said, for having a firearm, when a lot of people were at Shannon's house, she fired in the air to tell people to leave because she didn't evict Shannon. Oh my gosh. See, y'all know a lot about this. Bad girl, good to see you. Said, I never knew there were tiers like that except for cancer. Thank you, Peach, for the info. Yeah, thank you guys for all of the info. With guardianship or adoption, there wouldn't be support. Yeah. Tan says supposedly it was a woman who Eric claimed lied on him. See, and that's the other thing. Like, are these men saying that people are lying on them and these women are believing it? Is a question I have.
They know it. They're used to it. And here's a video that where he was hugging up on Ziyah.
And we just saw that. I could play it again for you if you want to. I don't think we need to see that again. I don't like it. I'm pulling up these documents real quick so we can talk about them. The 3 that my lovely moderators got. Oh, hold on. I got to email them to myself real quick. Hold on just a minute. Oh, goodness. Let me see if it went that time. For some reason, it didn't send it. Oh, my gosh. Hold on just a minute. I apologize. If y'all are amazing for dealing with me. I've got so much to show to you pertaining to this case. We found so much stuff, and we're going to talk about it for a couple of days. Why is it not going through? I don't understand. I might have to play a video while I wait for it to go through. Appears that I'm going to have to. Okay. Let me see what video I can pull up while I'm waiting for that to go through, because for some reason it's not wanting to go through. Hold on, I closed out of my daggone page. I got several videos. I sincerely apologize, y'all. Thank you for working with me through this, or for being here with me through this. Let me see what we're going to pull up. This one mentions why they think it's basically a conversation, and y'all tell me what you think you hear, because supposedly people hear her talking about Ziyah being pregnant. I know you can't see it. Hold on just a second. Okay. All right, this is where they supposedly, the aunt is talking about Ziyah being pregnant. I'm going to play it a couple of times, and y'all tell me what you hear, because I couldn't quite tell what they were saying.
That's not how it went at all. I never. This is when I found out I was pregnant. I took the pregnancy test and I asked her how long you pregnant. I said it's each lines but one's faint. Yeah. So she here. So I'm going for the pregnancy test. And this is when, I don't want to be the parent.
Okay. It sounded to me like she said, I found out I was pregnant, but then she says, I asked her if she was pregnant and I bought her a pregnancy test. I'm going to play it again. It's so hard to hear. And then she puts her hand up because she don't want to be recorded, is what she says. I'm going to play it again. I got it turned up as loud as we can. I can't turn captions on, unfortunately. So here we go. Tell me what y'all hear.
That's not how it went at all. I never. This is when I found out.
That's not how it went at all. This is when I found out.
It's pregnant. I took the pregnancy test and I asked her how long you pregnant. I said
Pregnant, took a pregnancy test, and I asked her.
it's each lines but one's faint. Yeah. So she here. So I'm going for the pregnancy test. And this is when, I don't want to be the parent.
So again, I couldn't get, I think possibly that maybe one of the lines was not that bright and she went and got another one. Yeah, one line was faint. Okay. Tip said, Shannon said to Roxy she bought Ziyah a pregnancy test and one line was faint. So she went and bought another one, is what I'm gathering. I finally got these dang documents to come up. My goodness, that was ridiculous. I don't know why it wasn't. So we're going to listen to this one more time, and then we'll look at these documents. Hold on.
That's not how it went at all. I never. This is when I found out I was pregnant. I took the pregnancy test and I asked her how long you pregnant. I said it's each lines but one's faint. Yeah. So
I did get it that time. I seen two lines, but one was faint.
yeah. So I'm going for the pregnancy test. This is when, I don't want to be the parent. That's not how it.
And y'all tell me, is that the aunt? That's the aunt, right? I know you told me just a second ago. Hey, Janet. Tip said on the stand she lied and said she didn't know that Ziyah was pregnant. And see, why are you lying? Like, that's implicating you more. That makes me feel like even more that y'all are involved. Jenny said, it's not a safe county here. We stay at home at night and lock up as it gets dark. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. The area. I'll pull up at the end to kind of, I'm trying to figure out how to, let me see. Oh, it's not letting me share the tab. Hold on just a minute. So it's like, she lived at 3 Mile in, hold on, wrong one. Does she live at 3 Mile in Detroit? I don't know why it's not coming up. Tell me where at, I thought it was 3 Mile. And I mean, y'all seen the video where I'm sure y'all seen Eminem's movie about 8 Mile. I think they said 3 Mile. That's where I heard. I said, is 3 Mile in Detroit a safe place to live? Here on Reddit, the first thing that pops up is Detroit really that dangerous? says this not trying to offend anyone. Oh, well, that's been archived, so I do want to try to find like some kind of actual legit thing. So I went back too far. The safest and most dangerous places in Detroit. Says Detroit is in the 16th percentile for safety. And so it says overall crime grade. Violent crime grade is a D-, meaning it's really bad. Property crime grade is a D-. Other crime grade is a D+. The D grade, I would like to scroll over. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Okay. Crime grades, crime map shows the safest places in Detroit are green. The most dangerous areas in Detroit are red, with moderately safe areas in yellow. Crime rates on the map are weighed by the type of severity of the crime. Is Detroit, Michigan safe? The D grade means the rate of crime is higher than the average U.S. city. Detroit is in the 16th percentile for safety, meaning 84% of cities are safer and 16% of cities are more dangerous. This analysis applies to the Detroit area's proper boundaries only. See the table on nearby places below for nearby cities. The rate of crime in the Detroit area is 37.55 per 1,000 residents during a standard year. People who live in Detroit are generally considered the north part of the city to be the safest. Your chance of being a victim of crime in the Detroit area may be as high as 1 in 13 in the southeast neighborhood, or as low as 1 in 71 in the north part of the city. And I'll scroll back up to this map. Let me see what y'all were saying, because I was on another page. Hey, Carolina. Tip said, if Jarvis went to that hotel with Ziyah and didn't walk out, then she's in that hotel somewhere, and the staff is covering it up. That's interesting. So, I don't know how to see, like, I'm trying to see where 3 Mile and stuff like that is. That's West Mile. Here's West Mile Road. Oh, there's 8, 9. 8 Mile Road is here. And then it goes up to 9. So 3 Mile would be in this red area. For sure. Because 8 Mile is where it turns from red to orange. And then 9 Mile is orange to yellow. So if this is 8, trying to look. Yeah, right here's that's 7 Mile. Y'all, there might not even be a 3 Mile. Anyway, it's not a safe place to be. Hold on, my computer's being slow. Okay. We'll pull up this TikTok real quick. That's going to talk about, I know y'all can't see it. Hold on just a minute. Hold on. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but this is going to be from Drake on TikTok again. Please go follow her TikTok. Hold on. Start it again. I don't know why it does that. Okay. Now, let me make sure y'all can see it. You can. After this, we'll look at some documents. I'm going to play a clip from a video and get a little personal with y'all.
All right, y'all. So I got some more information in the case of Ziyah Harris. So I just posted clips from the confrontation where Mark DeAndre and Roxy confronted Shannon and Marquita. So one of my friends just pointed this out, y'all. We have to be careful because remember, Shannon or Marquita, whichever one, they did testify. Now we don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't want to get in trouble for witness tampering and things like that. And I had the video where they are confronted. I might try to see if I can find it real quick, but I couldn't find it earlier. I was looking for it, where they're confronted and asked questions about why Shannon's hiding out at the sister's house. Very suspect.
We don't know if they're going to be testifying in the actual trial, but y'all, let's please be careful how we approach this situation because you don't want to be accused of witness tampering. So there is another part of that live that I want to address. I'm not sure if CPS actually took the kids. I saw some people come in and saying that CPS did take them, but this is what that boyfriend had to say.
CPS said my mom.
I'm going to back this up a little bit so we can hear clearly what. So there was a live on TikTok that a bunch of people got, and I'm still looking for it, where basically people come in and confront Shannon and are like, where is Ziyah? What did you do? Did you know she was pregnant? Why are you hiding out at the sister's house? And they did it live on TikTok. A bunch of people recorded it. And this is from that live. That picture you saw of them sitting on the bed is from that live, and this man speaking is a clip from that live, from what I understand.
CPS at my mama house. So, I get up being nosy. They're like, I think they about to take the kids or whatever. So they didn't take the kids because from what I heard, from what they were saying was Fortino was there and being said he has nothing to do with the case. They didn't really go forward with what they were supposed to do.
So does CPS have the kids? Do they not have the kids?
Now, personally, it's not our business if CPS has the kids. That's nobody's business. But I mean, I hope that the kids are at least being spoken to. If they have been hurt in any way, touched, something like that, I hope that they are taken out of that situation or made sure that it doesn't happen to them again and they get the proper therapy that they need. But at the end of the day, it's honestly not our business if CPS has the kids. But
kids. He's also saying since everything has been going on, Annette has been calling Shannon, telling her what to say to CPS.
Now that's concerning because that means you're lying to CPS. Why do you got to be told what to say to CPS if you're just telling the truth? Foxy Amazon said, thing one and thing two, what did you do? Get up to the stand and commit perjury for your boo? No doubt. Hazel Eyes said, I've gone through a lot of things, but God has always protected me. Girl, I'm sorry you've been through some things. I have too. And God is always protecting me too. When you feel like you got nothing left and you're just at the end of the road, remember God has got you.
And he was just like, this is odd because if you're not doing anything wrong, why are you having to call her to tell her what to say?
Right.
He also went on to say that Marquita's 14-year-old son has some issues. And he basically confirmed what everybody has been saying, y'all. This family is just completely messed up.
He was the last one to see her alive, right?
Yeah.
So this is from that live. This was what I was looking for, but didn't catch it in this video. She says she was the last one to see her alive. If you were the last one to see her alive, then where is she, ma'am? I wish I could read it in a goofy Dr. Seuss voice, Foxy.
All right?
Yeah, before school.
Before school. So what happened?
I told y'all that.
So what happened after school, though?
You figure it out.
Now her saying
you figure it out. What do you mean you figure it out? Do you mean I don't know what happened? Y'all figure it out? Or do you mean I'm not telling? What does that mean? Yeah, Corey, that's the aunt. And hey, Corey, it's good to see you.
and you figure it out is absolutely crazy to me. Now, y'all, please comment below. Tell me, what do y'all truly think about all of this? The confrontation, them hiding out at this man's house. From what I'm hearing, he was having relations with both of them, met them on a dating app.
You're on a dating app while your niece is missing. Your damn baby daddy done been messing with this child. And she's pregnant and missing. And you're on a dating app meeting this man that's messing with you and another woman? Your sister or something?
Since all of this has unfolded, he wants out. He does not want anything to do with this situation. I'm trying to figure out, when did y'all meet this man? Because Ziyah has been missing for a year.
In the last year, I can guarantee it. Why are you on a dating app when your child's missing or your niece? I wouldn't be wanting to get any other man around me or my children. I'd be scared to damn death. No said she wasn't the last one to see her, but they don't know she went with Jarvis or Codell or King. Yeah. She knows and she wants us to figure it out, says Tip. Shannon has a twin sister. Thank you, Tan. Hold on just a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay.
So not looking for your niece who could be somewhere suffering or somewhere unalived, and you're on a dating app? Y'all, comment below and let me know your thoughts.
That is crazy to me. All right, I'm going to play a clip from this video. I know y'all can't see it, but it's just a short clip, and I'm going to talk to y'all about something. And it's going to be kind of important to what I want you to take away from it. All right. Let me get it where y'all can see it. Now, this video is linked in the description box. It's from a lady called TOOTIE Uncensored. She's got some good input. She's playing this live that Ziyah's brother talked about, and I can't play it on here. It's her content. Number one, I haven't talked to her and asked her if I
You feel me? Men on her, bro. If y'all want to just kick you with me, pull up on me, you feel me? Chop.
That is Ziyah's brother, who was also living with the aunt. Now, if you want to, please check her out. She's got some good input on this. She talks about it. I think she's from the area. But I want us to hear something that she says about this, and I'm gonna talk to y'all about some things.
The ones that smoke, gonna smoke. You can do that. Just chill, bro. You feel me? Maybe I will open up, you feel me? Just, you feel me? Kick it with people, but bro.
My heart hurt for him because he craving the same thing that Ziyah was, and that's attention.
He's craving the same thing Ziyah was, and that's attention. And that's the truth. She wanted attention. She wanted to be seen. She wanted to stand out. She wanted somebody to care for her in that house full of so many children. Just another number from what it sounds like. Now, the reason that these I don't know how to. Okay, way back before fire was invented and the wheel wasn't a thing yet, when I was 13, I met this guy, and we would go hang out. Me and my friend. I was actually dating somebody else, but that was around my age. But we would go hang out with this guy that was married, and he used to tell me all the time. He'd be like, I was 13, and he'd be like, oh my God, when you turn 18, you're going to be a bombshell. It got to where he was like, I wish you were 18. I wish you were 18. And as a 13-year-old child, getting that attention from somebody, it felt good. I would skip school and they would come pick me up. They would call me, you want to come chill, you want to come hang out. And it made me feel good. It made me feel pretty. It made me happy to have friends that were older than me. It made me feel good to have an older guy paying attention to me, because it's like, he could be with anybody. Why does he want to be with me? When you're 13 years old, you don't want to do nothing but grow, but be older. Okay. And I think, if I felt like that, I was happy to have that attention. And when I turned 18, we actually got together and we had a child. He got me addicted to substances so that I wouldn't leave. I would just, because I was addicted to substances, and I would try to leave, and he would call me and he'd be like, hey, You know, I got some OCs, I got this, I got that, and I would always go back. It wasn't until this past year that our daughter told me, she was like, Mom, you were groomed. Like, you realize that, right? And I was like, no, it wasn't like that. But, you know, it really stuck with me because I've thought about it for a long time, and I think I was. And there's a lot of trauma involved in that. It's just, you know, my whole brain was just rewired. But the point is attention. It feels good to be noticed. It feels good to have people, especially older people, when you want to just grow up and be an adult so bad at the age of like 13, 14, it feels good to have somebody else pay attention to you. And luckily, you know, I was 18 before we ever got together or anything. But that's what it is. They just want attention. They just want to be noticed. They just want to feel special. And these predators see that and they catch on to it. And it's really sad. So what can we do to change it? Well, you know, you never know who your child's going to run into at school, an older brother, one of their friends, whatever. The only thing we can do is make sure you tell your daughters and your sons, your daughters, tell them that they are beautiful, that they are special, that they could do or be anything that they want to be, and tell that to them so much that they get sick of hearing it, because we need to lift these girls up. We need to tell these young men that they're handsome. We need to make them feel good about themselves so that if an older man does approach them and he's not able to manipulate the low self-esteem, if they feel lifted up, powerful, beautiful, important is the big thing. Make sure they know they are important. Do stuff with them that's just one-on-one. No matter how many kids you got, pick a day, take one out, pick a day, take another one out. Make them feel special, make them feel seen, make them feel loved, make them feel wanted. Make sure they know their worth, so that if a creep does approach them somewhere and try to make them feel special by picking them up from school, giving them money, all of the things, it's less likely to work because they know their worth. Hey, Chaz. I was going to see Fawny said something. Fawny said, I see you in your story. Thank you for feeling safe enough to share that with us. It helps people in the same boat to not feel so alone. Yeah. You can be groomed for anything. Not just sexual stuff. Yep. And I didn't tell y'all that. I don't want y'all to feel bad for me. I'm okay. What I want you to take from that is just remember to lift these children up and make sure they know how special they are and how beautiful and how intelligent. I don't care if they're failing every grade. Still make them feel intelligent so it doesn't work. So it's less likely to work if somebody approaches them. That's the whole point of this. Fawny says, point out their talents, not just their looks, more so their talent and qualities, like they are kind, smart, caring, strong, stuff like that. Yes. Yes. That way, if somebody does approach, it's less likely to work. October Sky said, it starts with an example at home. No matter what the situation, you have to have self-love and confidence and lift yourself up before you can help your child. Yeah, absolutely. And know that you are special. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care if you are listening on a free cell phone, as they call it, the Obama phone. I don't care. You are special. You are important. And you are worth more than you think you are. And that is where it starts. But these children, they need to know that they're important and that they're special, because that's what they prey on. They prey on the low self-esteem and the attention that the children want. All right, let's see what video we got next. Oh, I was going to pull up the documents. What? No. I'm going to pull up the documents and we can watch the Facebook Live. Oh, I did see I don't know if y'all can see it, but hold on. I'm going to try to pull it up. I didn't get it. There's a thumbnail that he has, and y'all can go view it on your own time, but there's a thumbnail he has where there's children and there's some antifreeze in the corner. I'll try to get it sent to me while we watch this Facebook Live and talk to y'all about that. I did see the antifreeze in the corner. It is concerning that the antifreeze is there in the corner in a room with a bunch of children, but considering that he worked at a shop, I didn't think much of it. All right, I'm going to try to pull this up if it'll let me. Okay. All right, I think that's all my thumbnails. Let me make sure y'all can see this while I get the documents. Oh, hold on, y'all. I apologize. Okay. Oh, this is not the one I wanted. We saw that one. All right, I'm going to pull my Google Drive, but before we do that, I'll go ahead and read these documents to y'all. Our Google Drive has a bunch of videos on it, so I'll pull that and actually, I think I've got them on a playlist. All right. Okay. So I'm going to read these documents to you. This is talking about basically what this sick mother trucker is charged with. So I want to make sure y'all can see it and read it good. Okay. So this first page says, today, Jarvis Raymond Butts, a.k.a. Jarvis Raymond Butts, 41 of Detroit, has been charged with the homicide of Ziyah Harris, who was 13 years old, also of Detroit, at the time of her disappearance on January 9th, 2024. The body of Ziyah Harris has not been found. The Detroit Police Department conducted a comprehensive investigation, which included witness statements, surveillance video, numerous documents, phone extractions, police reports, and medical records. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office reviewed 111 gigabytes of video, 506 gigabytes of phone extractions, and 19 gigabytes of documents. The overwhelming evidence in this case leads to the tragic conclusion that Ziyah was murdered by defendant Butts. Let's see what y'all said. Oh, yeah, we do have to love ourselves. Strategic Eyes. Yeah, he's really interesting. I like some of his input. I do sleep. I wish I could sleep more, but I do sleep. And thank you for being here, Artemis. All right, continuing on. Summary of the case. On January 9th, 2024, Ziyah went missing. She was reported missing on that date by Annette Harris, her adoptive mother, who is her biological grandmother, when she did not come home from school. She had never gone missing from school before. The Detroit Public School Police Department investigated the case until early February 2024, when it was turned over to the Detroit Police Department's Missing Persons or Homicide Unit. I do want to say it's the Detroit Public Schools Police Department is interesting to me. Like, does the school have its own police department because of the crime there? Like, I've never heard of a school having its own police department. And that's why I guess it didn't get turned over for a month, because the Detroit Public School Police Department was investigating it and then turned it over to the actual police. I don't know. That's interesting to me. Events of January 9, 2024. Ziyah took the school bus to school. She had her hair in 2 braided puff balls, clear framed glasses, a white sweater with a black jacket over it. a colorful Rugrats puffy jacket with fur-lined hood, with light blue jeans and Nike shoes. Okay, this is the next page. I'll zoom in so y'all can read it. Okay. There is video of Ziyah getting on the school bus. Ziyah used a DPS-issued Detroit Public Schools issued tablet that she used to communicate and communicated with an app. She took one last picture of herself on the tablet. Using her tablet, she sent a message to a device associated with Butts, indicating that they would be meeting up after she got out of school that day. There is a video of her getting out of school at the end of the day in the same clothes. She meets up with Butts and a coworker and goes back to their auto shop on Connor in Detroit. Ziyah is last seen by Butts' sister at the shop. Butts, the coworker, and Ziyah were together in the coworker's car when they went to a gas station and then returned to the shop on Connor. Butts' phone places him at these locations. At 9:30 p.m. to 12:20 p.m., I would think that's 12:20 a.m., Butts checked into a hotel. There is a receipt confirming this as well as his phone placing him at that location. Ziyah is never seen again after January 9, 2024. More complete facts and evidence in the case will be introduced on the record in court. So that's where you guys were talking about that he went to the hotel. That's interesting. It continues, Butts' inappropriate relationship with Ziyah prior to January 9th, 2024. The Detroit Police Department investigation revealed that Jarvis Butt was well known to Ziyah because he is the father of children with Ziyah's biological aunt. It is alleged that Butt sent Ziyah multiple texts of a sexually explicit nature beginning in September of 2022. In return, she sent him sexually explicit photographs of herself. It is alleged that in September 2023, she texts Butts that she has not had her period. And in November 2023, the evidence shows that Butts knows that she is pregnant. Okay, so first of all, again, I'm going to go back to grooming, considering she was sending him sexually explicit photos of herself. She's definitely groomed. Again, that correlates with Maddie. The biggest difference I see in this case between Maddie and Ziyah is not even them. It's the people that offended. Jarvis Butt was a known registered sex offender. Stefan was not. Like, there is a big possibility that Jen didn't know anything. It appears that that's what the cops think. In this case, I don't know how. Like, CPS should have done, which I think they did take the children, but she should be charged through CPS and through the police department for having this known sex offender around these children. Continuing on. It is alleged that in September 2023, she texts Butts that she had not had her period, and in November 2023, the evidence shows that Butts knows she is pregnant. His phone records shows that he searches online about abortion pills, and drinking red antifreeze. On January 10th, 2024, it is alleged that Butts was in the Rogue River area in Detroit. The clothing Ziyah was last seen wearing was found in this same area. More complete facts and evidence in the case will be introduced on the record in court. Factors supporting that Ziyah is deceased. Ziyah's school records showed no previous record of unexcused or unexplained absences. She was active on social media before January 9th, 2024. There is no new activity after January 9th, 2024. She has had no contact with any family or friends since January of 2024. She did not have any medical issues that would cause a life-threatening medical emergency. Okay, and this is the last page on that. An area known to Butts near the Rogue River around 7 Mile and Berg Road in Detroit was searched by Detroit Police Department, the Michigan State Police, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and other law enforcement agencies. As a result, clothing was found and identified that is consistent with the clothing Ziyah was wearing on the day she went missing. There was damage to a piece of the found clothing that could indicate a struggle. Charges for Jarvis Butt, a.k.a. Jarvis Butt, Butts has been charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Maximum penalty is life in prison without parole. Child sexually abusive activity, maximum penalty 20 years, and criminal sexual conduct, second degree. Persons under 13, defendants 17 or older, maximum penalty 15 years. Now, I want to talk about that for a minute. I will never understand, like, okay, first degree premeditated murder. In Michigan, you're looking at life without parole. In Florida, like Stephen is looking at the death penalty, right? But child sexually abusive activity, the maximum is 20 years. And criminal conduct of the second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older, maximum penalty is 15 years. Why are you going to commit homicide and risk the death penalty or life in prison without parole, as opposed to the 20 years you would get for the sexually abusive activity, and you add the 15 for a person under 13? That's a maximum of 35 years if they're run concurrent. Like, why would you not? I mean, and they would probably be combined to consecutive. I can't remember which is which, but the one where you do it together, so you'd be in there maybe 20 years. Why commit the homicide? That is what I will never understand. Why commit the homicide? I mean, you've already done this. If she is pregnant, why not just go to jail for what you've done instead of killing them? Statement of Prosecutor Kim Worthy. The evidence in this case will clearly show that the defendant's alleged actions were beyond predatory. They were vulturous. He groomed and preyed upon Ziyah with expertise. We will prove that he killed young Ziyah after he found out she was pregnant at 13 with his child, said Prosecutor Kim Worthy. Arraignment information. Defendant Butts was remanded to jail. The next probable cause conference is on October 4th, 2024, and the preliminary examination is on October 10th, 2024. Before Judge Aliyah Seabury, please request a photograph of the defendant from the Detroit Police Department. Okay, and then I've got this last paper. I think it tells us the charges. Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Jarvis Butt, on September 26th of 2022, the top one says 1, homicide, first degree murder, premeditated, date 9/26/2022. 2 is child sexually abusive commercial activity. The date is 9/26/2022. 3 is criminal sexual conduct, second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 years. That was 9/26/2022. I think the dates are wrong. I don't think these happened in 2022, but I could be wrong. Number 4 is criminal sexual conduct, second offense notice. And that date is 9/26/2022. It says depositions, 9/27/2024, plea, Judicial Officer Burton William Thomas. 1, homicide, murder in the first degree, premeditated. Defendant stand mute, plea of not guilty entered by the court. On September 27th of 2024, it says plea with Officer Burton William Thomas. Count 2, child sexually abusive commercial activity. Defendant stand mute, plea of not guilty entered by the court. On that day, the same people, and it's a plea for criminal sexual conduct of the second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 years or older. Defendant stand mute, plea of not guilty entered by the court. And then on September 27th, 2024, a plea for criminal sexual conduct, second offense notice. Defendant stand mute, plea of not guilty entered by the court. Other events and hearings on the 26th of September 2024, recommendation for warrant. On the 26th of September 2024, case needs to be abstracted to MI Security of State. September 26th of 2024, the warrant was signed. September 27th of 2024, arraignment on warrant. October 4th of 2024 is pre-exam hearing. October 10th of 2024 is the prelim examination. November 1st of 2024, prelim examination. January 6th, 2025, preliminary examination. All those so far were held. January 6th, 2025, he was bound over. January 7th, 2025, preliminary examination. It says result held. And January 8th of 2025, preliminary examination result held. Is she putting money on his commissary? That's see. I will never understand that. Y'all ought to hear. Strategic Eyes has a phone call from them in jail. Y'all ought to hear it. I can't play it over here. I'm not even gonna attempt that. But you should listen to the way he talks to his girlfriend at the time, his fiance or something. One of the jail phone calls. He's like. He literally, like Strategic Eyes says, Strategic Eyes is linked in the description box, so make sure you check him out. But he literally says that he's talking. I mean, he sounds like a pimp. It sounds like that movie. I can't think of the name. Hustle and Flow, I think is the name of it. It really, I mean, it's insane. Okay. So, here we go. I got my Google Drive pulled up and I'm trying to pull this stuff up for us to watch. Okay. I got the interview with the family from Facebook. So I'm going to share that with you and then we'll look into some stuff that I have saved on a playlist. Hold on just a minute. Okay, this is an interview with the family. After Ziyah has been missing. This is from the Missing People in America page. Please give them a like and subscribe.
We are here in Detroit, Michigan with the family of Ziyah Harris. Can you tell us a little bit about Ziyah?
Ziyah was 13 years old. She went missing January 9th of 2024 after school, after getting off of a school bus. She was supposed to come home and she just didn't come home. We recently found out through evidence with the prosecutor, Kim Worthy, that she was picked up by the man in custody by the name of Jarvis Butt, who actually picked her up after school. They did some traveling and came back to his workspace. He was a car mechanic, or had a workspace in a car mechanic, or owned a car mechanic shop. And Ziyah was never seen again after that.
What city was that car mechanic shop at?
It was in Detroit, Michigan, on the east side of Detroit.
Okay. Was that area ever searched?
They say it was.
So, I mean, it sounds like it's a very crime-riddled area, and I wonder if that has something to do with it. Hey, Sub Rosa. It's good to see you, love. Foxy says, thank one Mrs. Jarvis and puts money on his commie so he can protect his booty hole. Oh, my goodness. Y'all are funny. All right. Let's get back to this.
Okay. Did you ever personally search it, or?
I searched a hotel that was bought up in Discovery. Just
Sub Rosa, we're talking about Ziyah Harris's case.
Doing my own due diligence of it, and several people that I personally interviewed did identify him without me, even showing too much of him. But a lot of people did know who he was, and he was in the area and had been over there frequently.
Okay. Now,
Now, the police have all of his movements and stuff like that on camera, so I'm hoping they find something. I'm hoping they find her. I hope they trace everywhere that sick little predator went and they find her. I don't think he's ever going to tell where she's at. Even if he gets convicted, I don't think he'll ever tell where she's at. And there had been videos where they say you can clearly see that she was pregnant. Now, I thought it was her first missed period. So I was like, oh, well, no, she wouldn't be showing after a month. But then I find out that she said something in October or November. It's possible that she might have been showing. So those videos that y'all can find out there where they say she was obviously looking pregnant in the video, it could be. And if she's obviously pregnant, how is it that nobody in the family is doing a damn thing? Nobody's taking her to the doctor. Nobody's checking on the baby. Like, nobody's saying a word. You know, I mean, she's starting to show, like, it's kind of obvious that she's pregnant if she's showing, and nothing gets said, nothing gets asked, nothing happens. No doctors, no nothing. Hey, Rubber Ramada. Rachel said they did extensive searches in the area where he was. Yeah, I'm hoping that they can search more when that river is low or something.
She left. Did she have her book bag and everything with her at that time?
Yes, it was stated that she did. It was a picture of her, like, actually on the bus. And the police did confirm that she got off of the bus.
Okay. Were any of her personal belongings ever found?
I'm not for sure if her personal belongings were found by the police.
Okay, but were they found at all or by anyone? Or?
They haven't stated anything yet.
Now, this man, he was known to the family already?
Yes, he was Ziyah's boyfriend. He had already previously did time before of sexual misconduct, I believe, of a 13-year-old girl or under. And he got out. He explained to her that he was a registered sex offender and what he was in there for. He gave her the option to have a relationship with her. And she continued to have a relationship with him, so much so that she had 6 kids by him.
How long was he out for?
I'm not for certain when he got.
That is so important. She just said that she verified that he did tell her that he was a sexual offender and asked if she still wanted to have a relationship with him. She said yes, and she just said 6 kids, not 5. So does that validate what Ratchet King was saying, that she actually does have 6 kids, and the first one was born when she was 13 years old? Is that some more validation to that theory or speculation? Carolina said the only voice for Ziyah Harris is Roxy's. I don't understand how she had a large family and the only one member went all out to ensure Ziyah had a voice. Thing 1 and thing 2 and Grandma, Mama Jamma, yeah. I think the brother is upset, but you know, he's a baby himself with a baby. He talks about in that video we just watched a clip of from TOOTIE Uncensored. He says that he's got a daughter, you know. He had just turned 18. He left when he was 16. Ran away, or, you know, basically just stopped coming home. I mean, again, it's just what it's just like the family is just so dysfunctional. Generational abuse, I don't know. It's got to do with poverty, like, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Shannon has low self-esteem, right? And that's the problem. That goes back to what I was talking about. We got to be lifting these children up. We got to make sure they don't have low self-esteem. We got to try to break this cycle. We do. We really do. Like, please, if you take one thing away from it, please just go hug your babies and make sure they know they're special and important.
Out, but I think he's been out probably, I think he got out in the 90s. So he's been out, I would say maybe about 5, maybe 10 years almost.
Okay. Now his trial is currently going on, or is it about to go on?
Yes, he has a trial of Ziyah Harris, my cousin, obviously. And then he has 3 other cases right now of sexual misconduct with, at the times of their ages, was, I believe, 4, 6, 8, and a 13-year-old.
Okay. Get write some things down. Now, it was said that there was text messages between Ziyah and him prior to her disappearance.
Carolina said, tried very hard to keep her going missing off the radar, continually lying, and waited to report Ziyah missing. What are they hiding? Yeah. Sounds like they reported it to the school police, and the school police didn't report it to the actual police for a month. But I have a lot of questions.
Yes, the prosecutor did a press conference and did state that there were some text messages that were exchanged between Jarvis and Ziyah. I guess trying to insinuate that he made Ziyah believe that they were in a relationship, and apparently the relationship was intimate.
Okay.
The fact that he was even able to do that, I mean, I'll never understand. I'll never understand. I'll never understand. God, I wish she knew how precious she was. And I wish that this predator had never been around her. Phony said after school resources help a lot. It is not a solution to everything, but it's a good start that has a positive effects on the community. Yes, absolutely. Tip Davis said grandma mad because she can't continue getting money for Ziyah. I don't know. Is that why it wasn't reported? I don't know. Rachel says, school police, please. The security guard at my school was raping. Oh my God. Jesus. I'm so sorry, Rachel. Lord have mercy. If you ever need to talk, reach out to me. I'm so sorry. Goodness, I'm so sorry. My God, sweetheart. Nona said they are protecting Jarvis just like Jim protected Stefan. Disgusting. And why are we doing that? Again, is it low self-esteem for these women? Why are we protecting these predators?
Now, what do you or the police believe happened?
The police have come out with their statement based off of their evidence that they have, which they haven't presented to the court yet, because obviously it's still an ongoing investigation, so that hasn't been brought out yet. Ziyah's trial will be January 6th, 7th, and 8th, so everyone will be able to view it. Usually I go live, but I won't be because I'll obviously be in court during that time. But me personally, I feel like, obviously he had a relationship with Ziyah's aunt. It was said that he got her pregnant, which I did my own research from the very beginning of this, as her family member. And I had said that in one of the TikTok videos that I posted on my page that she looked pregnant. She was always on TikTok, doing TikToks with her cousin. So she was very much so always like on social media, teenagers, that's what they do.
So I didn't understand if she was talking about Shannon being pregnant or Ziyah. I was trying to catch that. Artemis Prime said, in my opinion, what it means when the school delayed reporting was school was trying to cover their butt, damage control. I don't know. I don't know if they thought she was a runaway. I'm thinking running away or things like that might be a high statistic in that area, which breaks my heart as well. And they thought she was a runaway from what it sounded like. I don't know. There's so many people that failed this baby. Jenny said apparently the last day of school she was sad and asked the teacher that she needed to see a counselor. Teacher said she'd tell her, but nobody came to see her. I heard that she did talk to the counselor and laid on the floor or something. Well, good. I'm glad you're okay, but I'm sorry, honey. That was awful. Carolina said Ziyah Harris wasn't a family member. She was considered to the family only as a welfare check, and let's not forget about food stamps. Well, I don't want to, say that. I do want to say there was a lot of children in that house. So when you have a lot of children in the house, it's hard for a child to feel like they stand out and that they're special. Sorry, one of the kids walked in. It's hard for them to feel like they stand out and they're special. I don't want to think of her as a welfare check or food stamps, and I hope and pray to God that wasn't what she was in that household. I don't know. I was not there. I did not see. I think she definitely didn't feel, I think she felt like part of a group instead of an individualized person that was worthy of love and attention. So it was easier for this predator to do what he did. Hey, Angela Ballerina. Artemis said, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Artemis. Okay, we'll continue on with this.
Yes.
And now, you know, TikTok, the dances and things, that's just what they do. And she probably did a million TikToks a day, you know, just being a regular 13-year-old kid, you know, enjoying dancing and enjoying spending time with her cousin. And there was one particular TikTok that I shared with her and her cousin dancing, and it just, a mother knows, female, no, we know, you know, you can just look at someone and tell by their body language or, you know, certain features in their face, and things like that. So I did say very early on, I believe in like February, March, that she would, you know, appear to be pregnant. And it did come out with the evidence that the prosecutor, Wayne County prosecutor, did state that she was pregnant. They don't know how far along she is, but my personal estimate is probably maybe about 5 or 6 months. Just off of, you know, some details that hasn't been confirmed yet. That's just my own personal belief.
So this case, unlike Maddie's, it has been confirmed that she was pregnant. So, I mean, in order to confirm that she was pregnant without having the body, a family member or somebody had to say something. More had to be sent in text messages other than, you know, I just missed my period. You know what I mean? Good gracious.
I do feel like things are going to hit the fan, and he had to do something about it. You know, it was said that he was supposed to turn himself in for a gun charge, I believe, on January 9th, which was the day that she went disappearing, but they moved it, I believe, to February. So that allotted him the time between the time of Ziyah informing him that she, you know, indeed was pregnant. I believe that he panicked, you know, due to him already, you know, being in jail previously before. No other victims had came forward during that time. And I don't think that he wanted to go back to prison. And it was also put out that he was looking up like how to, he was looking up abortions and things like that. So, you know, that was sad to hear within itself. I kind of feel like it's a slap in the face to us as her family, because they can't confirm the pregnancy that right now, currently, at least, he's only being charged with premeditated murder for Ziyah, but, you know, not her unborn child. But hopefully, you know, someone will do the right thing and a prosecutor will prosecute him for that as well.
I hope that he is prosecuted for that, and he was looking up ways to terminate the pregnancy. It's just, I don't like that. I wish that she would have got the help she needed. If he's looking up ways to terminate the pregnancy, that again tells us that she was pregnant, and that could be another way they validated it.
What do you want the community to do?
Well, the community has been helping me tremendously, me and my family. I've been advocating for her ever since I reached Detroit. I got here in February of 2024. So we've been spreading as much as awareness as we can. We've been in front of courthouses. We've been out searching and things like that. So the community has been a tremendous help, you know, to myself, to the police, and things like that. So right now, I mean, all we can do is just pretty much wait it out for January 6th, 7th, and 8th for the trial and see what comes of that. And if it's nothing of it, then we'll be back out there.
Now, you said you arrived in Detroit in February. Are you not originally from this area?
No, at the time when I heard about it, I was living in another state.
Oh, okay. So you came and moved back here.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else you would like to state about Ziyah?
I have some questions before you get there.
Okay.
Are there any future searches?
Are there any future searches planned?
No, not as of right now.
Not as
What is the Facebook page, and can people follow her case?
I have been putting information on my Facebook page, which is Roxy Rocks. I've made it public, for everyone to see. All of our information is public. There's also a Ziyah Harris, Where is Ziyah Harris page on Facebook as well. But those are really mainly the only two between my page and the Ziyah Harris page.
Okay.
What does she want people to know about Ziyah?
I think this is important, especially if we want to do a fundraiser and things. I had to step away for just a second. I saw y'all were saying a lot. Carolina said the family doesn't allow her to come over and ask her own questions. There's speculation about grandma also having relations with Jarvis. The preliminary judge really told the family how horrific it was that. Let me see if there's a second part. I don't see a second part yet, but goodness. That's crazy.
This whole situation has been really hard on all of us as the family members, who actually care and are putting in the work to get Ziyah the justice that she needs. But I just want people to just, hug on your kids, pay attention to your children, talk to them, see who they're talking to. It's okay to kind of be nosy, if you will, and get in your kids' business a little.
I like that she's saying the same things that, we were just saying. Make sure your kids know they are loved, they are cared for. Give them a hug. Make sure they know they're special. Spend some one-on-one time with them. Foxy said, I hate to say it, but what if it was some other girl he got pregnant whose pregnancy he was trying to terminate? It seems like she was a little far along for any type of home remedy, for lack of the term. I don't know. I haven't heard about anybody else being with child, so not sure. Carolina said they all let Ziyah Harris down and ignored everything going on under grandma's roof. Ziyah told her aunt Shannon what that monster was doing to her, but auntie shooed her away and said, stop lying. I have no doubt. Tip said Butts was trying to have a twosome. Oh my goodness. Offering the other friend $20, and she said no, so she went to tell her parents, and Detroit Police Department did nothing to Butts. Wow. Oh my God. If that is true, that is insane. I'd have to validate that, but I'd like to see the report of that never got taken seriously. I'll tell you that, because that's messed up.
A little bit just to, see what's going on. Make sure you're taking them to, the doctor to get their checkups and things like that. There are so many different ways that this has played out, and there's so many other ways to where it could have been prevented. And not blaming anyone single-handedly, but I just want people to look at this situation and talk to their children, and just pay attention to who you're dating, as well. Don't be afraid to do a background check on them. So many people put a lot of emphasis on a lot of other things that they don't necessarily need to be, and give less attention to what needs to be paid attention to. So just hugging on your kids, loving on your kids, and just, paying attention to them and getting in their business to see what they're really, who they're talking to and what they're into.
Right, exactly. I completely agree. And
Yeah.
It's completely fine to be nosy because they don't know well.
In situations like this, you know, it was already a heartbreaking story from the beginning. But
Yeah.
you know, just as parents, just take this as a learning lesson to do better with your children.
Right, I
Yep.
agree. Was there any more? No. All right. Now, is there anything you would like to state about Isaiah or what is going on?
You know, right now we're just awaiting trial. I'm still trying to, you know, continue to bring awareness. Even though they have said that she is deceased, you know, as her family, we until we actually physically see that, you know.
You gonna hope for the best, and I hope for the best too. But I saw some of the preliminary stuff, and it didn't look good as far as her still being with us on this earthly plane.
We still have hope alive. So, you know, if Naziah, if you know you see this or it comes across, I just want you to know that I love you. I'm fighting for you each and every day. I do still drive around to a lot of places and look and search and just double check, you know, old places. But you have family who love you and care about you, and we miss you deeply. And you have somewhere to go.
Tip, I heard that, but can we validate that? Like, I mean, Tip said y'all heard that Butts had relations with his own 4-year-old daughter and gave her an STD. I heard that he had relations with a 4-year-old and gave her chlamydia, but I don't know where it came from, so I can't validate it. But I did hear that, and that is just absolutely disgusting. Artemis says, as parents, we need to respect and reveal our biology and legacy when we have children. All social media have a limit, 13 and over. Yeah. Jenny said, parents don't work. Been having babies early. It's sad. Yeah. And then the daddies leave, and yeah, nobody cares. And it's just sad.
You have someone who cares about you and who loves you. And we're still fighting for you, and we're going to get you justice no matter what.
I wish that she could have lived with this lady instead of where she was at, and maybe this wouldn't have happened.
I want to thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
And I hope you get the answers you need.
Yeah. It's definitely an emotional roller coaster. And it's hard each and every day, but I just feel like if someone would have just spoke up or cared, you know, just even a little bit, that this could have went a different way, but unfortunately it didn't.
Right. Now
it absolutely could have went a different way if this predator had not been allowed to prey on her, but unfortunately it didn't. And the only way she's known is because of this, and it freaking sucks. Foxy Amazon, Michigan does not have the death penalty.
is there an anonymous tip line for anyone who might be afraid to speak up?
I make myself available, and there are several people that talk to me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But anyone can call the Detroit Police Department, as well as myself. And people have been, a lot of people have been comfortable coming to me, and there's been a lot of people who have come to me and told me just their stories, similar stories, that's similar to Naziah. So I try to make myself available and show a lot of love and support to those people. However, just like I said, the Detroit Police Department, if you have any information on Jarvis Butts, I've put it on my page. If anyone has dated him, if he has been around your children that are daughters, please talk to them and have a conversation.
Please. Because God only knows how many children this man has preyed on. Jenny said she wasn't allowed to visit with extended family. I think Roxy being one of them. Wow. That's sad. Is that because they knew what was going on and they were scared she was going to say something? Wow.
If you need help, come to me, come to the police department, and I will help you. I will walk with you to the police department, to get you the justice that you need. He may be locked up, but we don't know what the end result is going to be, but you still deserve to have your justice for you. and begin to have your healing process for you. And I'm here for you for that.
Thank you. All right.
Hey, Linda Glover. It's good to see you, honey.
Yep.
Okay. I have the first family presser where they ask for help. I'm going to share that with y'all, and we'll go through that real quick. We're going to start going through. Oh, it just made it the wrong big. Okay. We're going to start going through kind of from the beginning. We're going to look at the two times, like the presser on it, and then we'll start with the preliminary hearing. I want to see about body language, what the body language was in the beginning. So let's see what we can pick up on that.
We turn now to Detroit police sounding the alarm for the safety of a missing Detroit teenager. Ziyah Harris, last seen on January 9th after leaving school at J.E. Clark Preparatory Academy near Cornwall and 3 Mile. 7 Action News reporter Sarah Michael spoke with family members about their frantic search for the 13-year-old.
Ziyah's grandmother tells me that this is where Ziyah was last seen, at Cornwall Street and 3 Mile. She tells me that the school bus dropped her off right here on January 9th. What happened next?
Tip said that he had a key to grandma's house to come whenever he wanted to. If that is true, I mean, again, that's weird, but like if she genuinely didn't know anything, then I don't know. I mean, that's weird though. I don't like it.
Next is unknown.
For her to be late, she has never been late coming home. She's always got permission to do things.
Annette Harris is 13-year-old Ziyah Harris's grandma.
So why wasn't she reported missing for so long?
And legal guardian.
When was the last time that you heard from your granddaughter?
When I dropped her off at school, which was on January 9th.
Ziyah is an 8th grader at Clark Elementary School in Detroit, described as being incredibly sweet and a rule follower. Annette tells me when
she was going to do big things, y'all. This is so sad. She was going to do big things. She was God almighty. Lord have mercy.
Ziyah didn't come home from school on January 9th, she knew immediately something was wrong and reported her missing the next day. Detroit Public Schools Community District's police department has been handling the investigation. That's until Wednesday, when after a month of fruitless searching for the teen, Detroit Police Department announced that they're taking over.
We're very, very concerned.
Ziyah is a very sweet child. She really is. You know, and my biggest fear is somebody hurting her.
We don't believe that initially there was an abduction.
Police say they
didn't believe initially that there was an abduction, so that's why it wasn't reported for a month. They thought that she ran away, which is a shame. Like, it doesn't matter. We should treat every case the same. If they ran away, it would be easy to locate them because they're going to be using social media. They're going to have some way to track them. So if you try to track them and you can't locate them, then immediately start treating it like a missing persons. I don't understand. Hey, Miss Holmes. Miss Holmes said Annette is a POS. She totally contributed to Ziyah's demise. This woman should not have authority over any children. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that you saw that text. Thank you so much, Mr. Speculating for the coffee. He's so sweet. Jenny says, remember, Shannon said that she was the last one to see Ziyah alive, but grandma, she dropped her off at school. So when did Shannon see her? Oh, good question and good point. I didn't even pick that up. Shannon was the last one to see her. So grandma dropped her off at school. That's interesting.
Believe Ziyah was abducted initially, but when pressed, wouldn't answer if they think she went off with someone willingly. And that tells me that Ziyah's school looked at the bus video from January 9th and can see Ziyah getting off at her regular stop here.
She got off the bus with her schoolmate and walked up to the corner of Warren and 3 Mile Drive. And one of the school kids said that she turned right instead of turning left, and that's all I know.
Police say they are questioning everyone who knows Ziyah. They're working with local, state, and federal partners.
I wonder if Shannon had a Freudian slip on that video. And again, that's all I know. Is that a Freudian slip? Y'all, I have questions.
To look everywhere. If someone is watching right now and they know where Ziyah is, what would you like to say to them?
Ziyah's life may be in danger and you don't even know it because you're keeping information or trying to keep her hidden because of what you think. Ziyah needs to be home with her family, and we love her.
If you know anything about Ziyah's disappearance or where she may be, you are asked to reach out to Crime Stoppers. You can call them anonymously at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. In Detroit, Sarah Michaels, 7 Action News.
Okay, so that's the, from what I understand, that's the first presser. Hold on just a minute, and I'll pull from our drive. The second one that I know, that wasn't a presser. That was the family asking for help. I think we will, like, hold on, watch this stuff today and then, like, maybe start on the, preliminary tomorrow. Let me pause this.
The SB unit at Wayne County Prosecutor's.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to start this over. This is titled Groomer Pedophile Charged in Death of 13-year-old Detroit Girl Last Seen in January. And this is from 4 months ago.
Thank you all for coming today. I want to start out this morning by introducing those that stand with me. To my far right, left, and your right, and who you are.
Matthew Makepeace with the SVU unit at Wayne County Prosecutors.
Tina Ripley with the SB unit at Wayne County Prosecutor's Office.
Matt and Tina will be trying the case.
And good morning, Louisa Papelis. I'm also with the Special Victims Unit, the Deputy Chief. And good morning, Kelly Gleason. I'm the Chief of the Special Victims Unit.
Good morning, Chief White.
Good morning, Lieutenant Amber Roberson, Homicide Missing Person.
Sergeant Shannon Jones, Homicide Missing Person.
I have spent decades of my career looking at pictures of murdered people. When I was trying homicide cases for 6 straight years as an assistant prosecutor, I would spend hours thinking about the victim whose case I was getting ready to try, wondering how they spent their last weeks, their last day.
I wonder if she got on the bus or if Grandma dropped her off. I don't know that we can verify which one of those happened. Hey, Chaz. I don't know if I said hey to you.
Days, their last hours, and their last minutes of their lives. What were they thinking about? Did they know that the end was near? And if it was someone they knew, what must they have been thinking as they were shot, stabbed, or whatever mechanism of death was used and confronted them with by the person they knew or loved? I can't imagine the thoughts that goes through their minds. But it's always, always 1,000 times worse when the person is a child or a baby, someone in the dawn of their lives who have begun to live their lives. The picture behind me is of Ziyah, and that will always be haunting because it was taken just a short time before the evidence shows that she was never seen or heard from again. It was taken by Ziyah herself, a selfie. That's the last known picture that we know about of her. It was pointed out.
It makes that last picture so sad. Like, I'm glad that they have it, but it makes it really, really sad that that's the last picture that she ever took.
To me by one of the detectives on this case and by one of the prosecutors. She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye. We will provide to you later a very skeleton timeline of the time right before her death, before and after. Of course, the detail would be provided in court. The evidence shows overwhelmingly in this case that she is in fact deceased. The last time she was seen alive was January the 9th this year, 2024, almost 9 months ago. Her missing status was reported to the Detroit Public School Police Department by her grandmother on that very day, when she never returned home from school. And again, that was January the 9th, 2024. In early February of 2024, the case was turned over to the Detroit Police Department. Frankly, that should have happened right away. But they began investigating immediately.
It should have happened right away. And she, again, says grandma was the last one to see her.
The evidence would further show that through text messages,
On y'all, there's going to be an echo for a second. Okay.
messages that we know and that we have, Ziyah and this defendant were going to meet after school on January the 9th. That she did indeed meet up with the defendant that we're charging in this case. We also know that several people close to Mr. Butt, who we were charging later, saw them together in several different locations, people that he knew well. We have evidence that at 9:30 p.m. on that day, that Mr. Butt checked into a motel and that Ziyah was never seen or heard from again. Not from her family, not from her schoolmates, not from her friends, not from social media where she was extremely active with her friends, not from teachers.
Did she say that it was the 10th, or did this woman just say that it was the 9th and not the 10th that she got reported missing? Because again, that's important. We need to know the actual date, just like with Madeline, with the DNA paperwork saying the 25th and not the 26th was her last day alive.
No one. We know that she had no medical conditions that would cause a life-threatening medical emergency to her. And he, again, was the last person that saw her alive. She would have turned 14 years old just 10 days ago on September the 16th of 2024. And again, no one has seen or heard from her. You look at that face and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her short life. The exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing. The evidence will show that from one of her text messages to and with Jarvis Butt. And we also know, the evidence will show, that there's no evidence of anyone else being the father of that child other than the defendant himself, who we charge today. And he knew she was pregnant. We know that he was also searching for ways to abort the baby. We know that sexually explicit photos were requested by him of her and that she complied and sent them to her. All at the hands, we allege, the man we are charging with her death and also her long-term sexual abuse. In our warrant review process that Matt and Tina and others put together, excellent work on that. Video of 111 gigabytes, witnesses and witness statements.
Sub Rosa, they got charged. I saw your comment just now about is that the one that adopted the boys and then they moved and the boy went missing? Jacqueline and Trezell West, is that who that was? And did they finally get charged? That's interesting. I hadn't seen that. I need to look at that. Ms. Holmes says this case is almost a mirror image of Madeline's sad and horrific situation. It is. I see differences as well. I mean, he was a known predator. Stefan was not a known predator. And it's like, the police got in on Madeline's case pretty much out the gate. Her case was not gotten, it was a month behind by the time police got it. There's correlations and there's a lot of differences too. I think Ziyah was failed more than Madeline was, and that's hard to say because both cases are absolutely horrific. But I think Ziyah was failed a lot more than Madeline, and that's just really sad. We've got to do better as a community. Tan said Grandma and the twins were telling the kids to lie to CPS and police that Jarvis never approached them. Oh, wow. See, why are they hiding him? Why are they hiding all of the things that are going on and letting this man do these things?
Body-worn camera. And let me not forget, it was Tina and Matt's memo, but the work of the Detroit Police Department. Anyway, we reviewed 111 gigabytes of video, witnesses and witness statements, body-worn camera footage, surveillance video, police reports, documents, 19 gigabytes, medical records, search warrant returns, phone extractions, which came to 506 gigabytes. Today, we are charging Jarvis Butt with 1 count of first-degree premeditated murder, 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, and 1 count of child sexually abusive material. Today, we are also charging Mr. Butts with more counts of criminal sexual conduct on 2 more girls, yes, girls, on 2 other separate cases. The girls in question now are 20 and 11 respectively today, but both were
20 and 11. 20 and 11 are the ages of the other 2 girls.
under the age of 13 years old at the time the offenses occurred that we're charging. We are charging that.
Oh, I think she might have said 2011, like 2011, like it's from then, but the girls were 13 or under when this happened. This man has been preying on everybody.
One victim who is now 20 years old, that from April of 2012 to April of 2014, it's alleged that defendant Buck sexually assaulted the victim at a residence in Detroit. Further facts and evidence on that matter will be placed on the record at the preliminary examination.
Lord have mercy. Tip said, Grandma and Shannon are not getting charged with murder because they want Jarvis to take the blame since he was the last to see Ziyah. But I don't think that he's going to take the blame. If, just like Stephen, if he's not the one who did it, he's not going to roll. He's not going to, he's not going to take the blame. He's going to roll.
In that case, we charge Mr. Butts with criminal sexual conduct, 1 count in the first degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older. In that case, we are also charging Mr. Butts with 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 years or older. In the second criminal sexual conduct case, well, I guess the third that we're charging today, we are alleging that the victim, who is now 13 years old, that from July 2015 through July 2017, we're alleging that he sexually assaulted the victim at a residence in Detroit. And again, further facts and evidence will be developed at the preliminary examination. Defendant Butts have been charged with, in that case, 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree. Child under the age of 13, Mr. Butts over the age of 17. Based on all the evidence that I've laid out now and much more that will be shown later in court, based on all of these cases, we will present in court.
This man, again, and I think about, like, if he's a predator to all these people, they knew, like, there was some kind of signs, just like I say with Stephen and Maddie, there was some kind of signs that somebody saw somewhere. Miss Holmes said Jarvis had SA'd many of the children in that family, and it was well known amongst the family. He gave a 4-year-old relative a STD. The grandma and the twins knew about this. From what y'all were saying, yeah, I've heard that. Passenger, thank you for being here. He has 13 kids. 4 of the 4 women were all underage when they became pregnant. Also, it's a nobody case, so he probably thinks he will get away with this if he doesn't give the body up. Yeah, I had stated that in the beginning. I think that he's not going to give the body up because there's a possibility he could get off on it as far as a jury trial if he doesn't present the body. Fox, I don't know about that.
Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women who had to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. He would have relationships with their mothers, but his true desire was to have sex with their young daughters. That's what the evidence will show. He was a classic and expert groomer and pedophile.
Yep.
It's incredibly sad, incredibly unspeakable, and we want to bring justice to her and her family. I have to take this moment to say something to you. And this is not directed at all at Ziyah's family, who by all accounts had many in her family that truly loved her. This is directed to everyone else listening to me now. We must be very careful who we let into our hearts and our homes and our lives, especially if you have.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Watch these men around your children. Make sure you love yourself and your children know their worth. So that, you know, these predators cannot come into your life and make you feel special and do the same thing to your children. the people who they want to get at. Y'all, I see a lot of stuff in chat. I just want y'all to ask y'all to just be mindful about the things you say. Let's try to make sure that, nothing offensive is said. Please and thank you.
To have children. We must be very careful who we have around our children and elders respectively. We must also be very careful who we leave our children with, even if they are in a relationship partners, family, and friends. I'll say that again. Even if they are relationship partners, families, or friends. Life can be hard enough at times, but when it comes to our children, we must be deliberative, we must be diligent, and laser focused on their safety. And sometimes we must make decisions about them and their lives that we may not like and that they may not like, but it's for the betterment of them and their safety and their future. When something doesn't feel right, even if it's just that voice in your head, it usually isn't right. And sometimes when we are attentive and we do everything right by our children, things can still happen and still go very wrong despite our best efforts. This can happen.
This can happen to anybody.
Happen to good watchers of children. But we must always ask ourselves at the end of each and every day, was I right by each member of my household in terms of their safety? Did I do right by my children? Now, of course, Mr. Butts is presumed innocent unless and until he's found guilty on each and every.
That man is guilty as sin. Passenger said, ugh, 4 of the 5 women he impregnated were underage. He gave a 4-year-old chlamydia and only did 7 years in prison. The aunts just lost custody to the state of their children. That's what I've heard. Hey, All X, I'm sorry. I saw you earlier and I don't think I said hey to you, or Allie X or All X. I can't tell. Allie X. Detroit is like all cities, beautiful and great in areas and bad in others. Yeah. I've heard it's more dangerous is why I say that. But all cities are dangerous and beautiful at some parts, just depends on where you live at. Okay. I'm going to continue with this.
Every crime and count that we have charged today. We have been told this morning that the arraignment will be tomorrow, we think at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, but we don't have confirmation of that yet. But the arraignment, we are told, will happen tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. Chief. I'll sit for a second.
Good morning. This is one of the most difficult cases that I have been a part of, and I'm just so very thankful to the detectives and the investigators in homicide. The tragedies that happened to this little girl touches each and every one of us, and unfortunately, she lost her life at the hands of someone who should have been concerned about her safety. I just want to take a couple moments and thank Madam Prosecutor and her team for the amazing work, the commitment, the hours that they put into this work. I want to thank our major crimes, missing persons, homicide, specifically Sergeant Jones and Lieutenant Amber Roberson. When I tell you the days and hours and the tenacity that they put into this work, it's not often that I'm not surprised by our officers, but when I saw the working hours and the time that they put in, I was absolutely in awe at my weekly briefings and the time that they put into this case.
I'm glad that they did, when they got on it, they did put a lot of time and effort into this. Like I said, it's going to be a harder case to try because there is no body. So they've got to make sure they can prove pretty much definitively that she is deceased. And they've done that. They've got a lot of evidence against this man. Tan, excuse me, Tan said Ziyah texted Jarvis and told him that she was afraid she was going to fail gym because her stomach was getting bigger and she couldn't participate. She was a straight A student. Oh, God almighty. I mean, imagine where she would be going in a couple of years. If she's a straight A student in the 8th grade and kept her grades up, this child could have become a lawyer, could have become a doctor, anything she wanted, and he took that from her. She could have got help for the trauma that she has endured and been anything. It breaks my heart. It really does. It's so sad. And that tells me she was showing.
It is not an 8-hour-a-day job. It is it ends when they have to get a couple hours of sleep. And I will tell you, with all the other things going on, this case was always top of mind. Certainly want to thank DPS for their assistance in transferring over some of the information that we were able to get from them with this case. There were a number of people, our community in particular, even our board police commissioner, Tamara Liberty Smith, who was out knocking on doors and passing out flyers, all with a desire to bring this little girl home to her family. Quickly, as the investigation unfolded, the officers realized that was going to be very difficult. Without going into great detail, I will tell you, as the prosecutors indicated, hours and hours and many gigabytes of information and phone records and knocking on doors and pulling video went into this investigation. And sadly, we find ourselves where we are now. But if there's any solace in any of this, is that we take a lesson from this. We make strong and good decisions for our children, keep them out of harm's way. We're not pointing out anything that someone did wrong. We just want to make sure people do a lot more things right. And again, Madam Prosecutor, thank you and your team for the work.
I like the way he said that.
The Chief and I will take a few questions if you have any.
I have one. How did Jarvis Butt have access to Ziyah?
He knew some of their family members, some of her family members.
Can you talk about the time frame when you mentioned grooming? Are you able to elaborate at all over how long of a period of time he may have quote unquote groomed or knew her? Or
all I can and will say at this point that it started in 2022.
So just for accuracy, this little girl's remains have never been found?
No.
Is there a thought?
Her body has never been found.
Any thought of where she may be?
Well, if we knew that, we would certainly have a case that we weren't trying. We were trying without a body.
I mean, obviously, if they knew where she was at, they would be trying the case for murder, you know, be trying it with the body instead of without.
Trigger charges now.
Again, there's an incredible amount of material. And one of the reasons why lately I've been giving out amounts of material that we've been going through, because I think people sometimes just do not get it or understand about all the work that it takes by the investigators and by the prosecutors to put a case like this together. Whenever you have a case like this, where there has been no body found, it makes it more difficult and much more investigation must be done because we have to be able to prove that the person is deceased.
Are you able to say how long this suspect was on your radar when you really started locking in on him?
No, by law, I can't really comment on that because that would leave me in a place where I can't talk about it right now.
Could things have maybe moved forward a little faster if the school police had got with the Detroit police right away?
Yes.
Can you talk a little more about?
No, I better not. I have strong opinions there.
I do too. I think we all have strong opinions there.
You added to that the evidence, however, suggests that Ziyah Harris is dead, correct?
We are going to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she's dead, as we must do by law.
You can't say why.
Because no one's seen her, no friends, no family, no teachers, no medical conditions. Even on her birthday, 10 days ago, she contacted no one. This was a child that never missed school, but the school hasn't seen or heard from at all again. This is a young girl who was very active on social media and crickets, nothing, since January the 9th of 2024. And we have other things too that will come out in court.
Any cooperation at all or utterances, statements from the defendant?
I can't get into that.
Without being able to speak in detail, I'm sure, do you have any evidence to indicate manner and location of death or where this might have occurred?
No, because we can't do that unless we have a body.
Mr. Bucks is currently facing charges in prosecutor by your office. Can you talk additional charges before these? Can you talk about those now?
He is, and we next appear in court on Monday, January 30th.
Have there been any other arrests made in this case?
I don't think so.
We just saw an unfounded rumor that there were family members arrested. Didn't know if you could squash that or confirm that.
It's an unfounded rumor. It's not true.
Thank you.
Do you have an idea of how long Ziyah?
There was already rumors in the beginning that some of the family members had been charged. Like rumors started off out the gate. Sorry, I was reading somebody else's comments.
Again, the sexual abuse began based on the evidence that we have in 2022. Or at least the grooming began in 2022.
Are you able to say how far along she was on her pregnancy?
We don't know because we don't have a body.
I have a question for Chief White just about missing children just broadly. When these types of cases happen, obviously we get the reports all the time. Can you talk about what you think didn't work in this case? You know, in terms of like maybe the seriousness that was
considered when she first went missing? It was reported to DPSCD, which was passed to you guys.
She just asked, will you talk about like this case as far as like it not being taken seriously in the beginning? So this is going to be important. This is something that I have been wanting to know, why it wasn't taken seriously to begin with.
I would much rather have had the case earlier. I don't know if the outcome would have been any different based on some of the things we've learned in the course of the investigation, but we may have had an opportunity to recover even more evidence. But we're pretty confident that the evidence that we have is strong. We know it is, in fact. But you can never have enough evidence. So if there's anything that could have gone a little bit better, the first time that we were brought in, I would want it to be brought in much earlier for that reason.
Miss, I think Leslie. Yes, Leslie. Thank you for that. I was typing it last night at like 11 o'clock, and then I finished it this morning while I was driving. So I appreciate that. I will do that after this video. Thank you so much for letting me know. I really appreciate that. Jenny said, I fear for my grandchildren living in this day and age. They can't even go clubbing like we did when we were young. Evil walks among us. It seems so much more prevalent now. Why is it so much more prevalent now than it was before? Is it because we have the ability to know everything so much quicker with the internet and TV and things like that? Or has there really been an uptick in crime?
Just a background on Jarvis Butt. What's his age and is he from Detroit?
He's 41 years old, from Highland Park, I believe.
And Chief, as soon as you guys got word of this, you guys were out immediately.
That's correct. I mean, we took over the case after we were briefed. We took charge of the case, and our teams got engaged in it immediately and hit the ground running, and didn't look back.
Can you talk about
Thank you for that.
The Ziyah's case in connection to the other missing young people, girls, children, what your workload looks like, how you balance those cases, and the numbers of youth that are missing right now?
Yeah, well, we make that public. We put it on our social media pages. There's a number of misinformation, misconceptions about missings. Oftentimes what we have is kids that run away for a day or two. They have a way of investigating these cases. They know the ones that routine runaways, if you will. They still look, they still go out, but there's ways to do it, going through the schools, social media with kids.
And if those steps had been taken, they would have known she wasn't a runaway. But again, even with routine runaways, are they not prey? Like, especially if somebody knows that they're routine runaways, you still, I mean, he said they send people out, but you still need to be prevalent in searching for them, because even if they've ran away 572 times, number 573 might not be a runaway. I don't care how many times they ran away. You treat it the same. I'm sorry. I can't. Jennifer said, I think it's a combination of it being harder for criminals to get away with things and the ability to get information so quickly and so easily. That's what I'm feeling. But I also question, like, did we lose morale as a society? Does that have a correlation? Passenger said, this part pisses me off. Why did the school keep this from DPD? I don't know. It seems like this man might have some pull in the community or something. He definitely had some pull in that household from what I'm hearing. I don't know.
You know, it's a big benefit to us for our investigations. And they also know when they become serious missings. All missings are serious, but internally there's a title that it has been elevated to a serious missing, and that involves a lot more work and connection with the family. Each time we get a call, we go out to the home, regardless of whether or not it's a person who has run away or a routine runaway or serious missing. We check the home. We have found kids in the home hiding. So it's really complex, and we'll take its own news conference to explain it. I will tell you this, they do a very good job. We've got thousands of kids this year that have been returned home, many of which were runaways. So we don't have a condition where kids are being picked up on the street and kidnapped. We did have an incident a couple of years ago where that happened, and the prosecutor charged that person. In fact, we were just recently convicted. So it's a lot that goes into it. We'd be more than happy to sit down and explain our process with you if you want to do something on an aside.
Chief, assuming then, inferring that investigators knew early on this was not a runaway case, or just if you could share some details on the fact that I'm assuming you knew pretty quickly this was not what she did as far as running, and there was foul play involved. And if you can address the complexities that the prosecutor alluded to of not having a body, and how you build a case around that.
Well, the prosecutor builds cases. We bring evidence to the prosecutor. We bring our investigation, and she makes the charging decision. So I don't want to get into that lane because it's not mine. I'll tell you, as I said earlier, the prosecutor's alluded to a lot, and there's a lot in the press release as to what goes into it. These folks looking at hours and hours of video evidence. And as the prosecutor indicated earlier, I don't think people recognize in this new age of modern technology what that has done to investigative process. The days of old school investigations, some of that stuff still is valid and important. You got to get out on the street, knock on doors, and talk to people. But what the digital world has brought us is new opportunities to find additional information and the cadence in which people communicate, right? Every one of us have these things in our pocket called cell phones that we use for everything. And if people go
with you all the time, it's easier to be tracked. It's easier for, you know, crimes to be brought to the forefront quicker. Passenger said, I'm from Michigan. I went to college in Ann Arbor and spent many years in the city. As a matter of fact, for some odd reason, they took her to, I thought that was a gas station, Yasplonti, I don't know how to say it, the day before, milked her, and I don't read the rest. I don't see the rest. Oh, trying to figure out why they took her there. Yasplonti is about 40 to 45 minutes outside of Detroit. That's interesting. I wonder why they took her there. There's some testimonies in the preliminary hearing about like people that they would go work on their cars, they speak and stuff. We're going to get into the preliminary hearing tomorrow. We're going to watch the rest of this video, and then I'm going to play a short video of Madeline that will be linked in my description box. It talks about, you know, why we do this. I really appreciate the creator who made this video. And it'll make you cry. So if you need some tissues, you might want to grab them, because I'm going to play it in just a minute. It's so sad. It'll make you cry. I hate trying to type without my glasses. Please excuse my typos. It was supposed to say she was taken to Yossi the day she was killed. I saw that they said Yasplonti. I thought it was a gas station.
go dark, and they've never been dark, and particularly kids. They show their food, they show their school, they take selfies, and when that stops, that elevates your concern as to why did it stop. So it's a very complex process. These are the experts. I'm just a chief. But, you know, again, we can sit down and talk to you about it in great detail, but a lot goes into it. And when you're talking about 111 gigabytes of information and text messages and dumping phones and literally going through methodically each one of the pages and the text messages and the communication as to when they stopped and the last word said that should have prompted a response. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I can't get into that. All those things elevate your curiosity and brings you into other areas. So it takes a lot more time, but when you get it all right and you pull all the things together, you become as confident as we are now with this case. And we're very, very, very happy that this predator, this child predator, will not be able to hurt any more children and frankly, any more women, because we know that the women were a pathway to the children. That's that, period. I'm going to stop there before I get in trouble with the prosecutor. Right.
I mean, yeah, he preyed upon these women to get at the children, and thank God no more children are going to be hurt. It's Ypsilanti, maybe? Ypsilanti. I'm probably still doing it wrong. Jenny said they took back King's mother-in-law's car they had been working on and went in 2 cars so King could get back home. Okay, thank you for that. I had seen some things from some people that King worked on their car in the preliminary, which, like I said, we're going to start on those tomorrow.
506 gigabytes just from the cell phones.
Are there any other people that are close to her family that may be charged?
This investigation's over, and we have charged the one single person that's responsible for not only her death, the evidence show, but also for the sexual assaults that we have charged today.
And what are his priors? Do we have those?
Oh, definitely.
Why isn't the family being charged? I think that's going to be the outcry, and that's why this case is so well known or so out here, because so many people are talking about it. Because why hasn't the family been charged? Why hasn't Jen Soto been charged? Why aren't these people being charged that are around these children, not protecting them?
Definitely can't go there. I'll lose my law license.
Chief, some of the Ziyah's relatives said they previously had talked to CPS about allegations of sexual abuse both from Ziyah and other kids. Did that ever make it to your office? Is it something that police have investigated before?
Yeah, let me just say this, that if anyone that is watching this press conference right now or reads any of the coverage, and I'm sure that you will give this, has any reason to believe that they were a victim of his or that they know something else, we certainly welcome.
If you are a victim of anybody, anywhere, please go to law enforcement. If you are a victim of his, please go tell them so that this child can get justice. They can keep it private. They cannot let the information out. It can be between you and them. This man, we need to make sure this man is never allowed out and around anybody ever again. Passenger said, it's a smaller city outside of Ann Arbor. It's where the women's prison is. It's where a lot of University of Michigan grad students have apartments, shoppings, and hospitals. Okay, thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that. I would love to have you here tomorrow if you're able to make it. When we go over the preliminary hearing. Ypsilanti. I'll have to look it up. I'm sure I'm still slaughtering it. If you guys don't mind, please hit the thumbs up.
Welcome them to contact the Detroit Police Department.
So you can't say if there were any previous reports on that?
No.
Has Mr. Butts made any admissions at all?
We can't talk about that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so that was that. I'm gonna play this video, and it might make you cry. It's linked in the description box. If you're watching this on replay, you're not going to be able to see it, but it's the first video in the description box, along with all of the other videos that I played during this live. Hold on, I'm trying to get it pulled up. I'm actually going to go to this current live. Basil is here. He actually just came in. He was in the kitchen. He's probably about to jump up on the bed right now. It's probably going to echo for a second because I'm going in this live. Oh, it's muted. So you see how I'm going to the description box right down right here. This video, I'm going to click the first one. Now, I'm going to warn you, this video is going to make you cry. If you're watching this on replay, it's not going to show up. So go to the description box and play the video. I'm warning y'all now, it's going to make you cry.
A, B, C, please don't take my sunshine. How do you do it? Oh, I know.
The reason that I'm doing this is because these children were failed. These children need to be talked about. These children need to be remembered and not forgotten. And I want us to remember them for more than their death. I want us to remember Madeline for the way she could sing and how she had a quirky attitude. Sometimes she would be ill, sometimes she would be nice, and her friends. Remember Ziyah as the straight A student who was very beautiful. I don't know a whole lot about her. I know that she had a sense of style. I like the clothes that she wears. I think she's very beautiful. I want us to remember them for what they were, not what they became. That video, by the way, was from Period Point Blank. Please go give her a subscribe. That was just the sweetest video ever. Please remember these children for more than the death and what they became because of that and the way they were preyed on. Like I said, I'm going to be working on, I'm going to set up a Cash App that's just going to strictly be for fundraising, and I will drop it only when we're going to fundraise because I don't believe in doing Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to do it. But if I want to do a fundraiser with less than 10,000 subscribers, I have to do something like that. I'll look at that in a minute. I can't right now. I'll look into something like that so that YouTube doesn't take like over half of the money that I receive. So I do want to do something for Ziyah. Her birthday is in September, but I know that she went missing January 9th. So I've missed that date. I don't know. We'll have to find a good date to do some fundraising for her. And then on Maddie's birthday, I want to do a fundraiser. And then on the day that she passed, I want to do a day of silence. Give me just a second because he was trying to show me something. So something's breaking. Hold on. Evidently, there is a mall shooting in Tennessee. But I'm going to go for the day. Tomorrow, we'll talk about the preliminary hearing and see what all evidence that they have and talk some more. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. If you guys have any other ideas, any ideas of a date that we could do for Ziyah, please let me know. If you guys have an idea of ways to raise money, like how we need to go about doing this, please let me know. I appreciate y'all being here. Group hug, everyone, says Bad Girl. Yeah, it's it breaks my heart because it does seem that way, Passenger. I hope y'all have a good day. I do. I hope y'all stay safe out there and try to enjoy your Saturday night. And I'll be back tomorrow, and I really appreciate y'all being here with me. I really do. I could talk to myself all day. I would be nothing without you guys. You guys make this place great. I appreciate you in chat being nice, respectful, and considerate of everybody's thoughts, opinions, and speculation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to these stories. Thank you for caring about these children. I appreciate that. And stay safe out there. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good Saturday night. Hug your children. Make sure they know that they're worthy, that they're loved, that they're important, that they're special. Spend some time alone with them. Just let them know that you love them. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.